Welcome back to Clay Pigeon for the finale of BUKC 2020. It's been a long time coming, but this is eventually the end. 4 teams running for the title: Coventry A, Oxford Brookes A, Loughborough A and Exeter A, but only one of them can win the trophy. Behind me sits a grid of 30-odd drivers vying for the race win in this first race. We're going to talk to Ocean Bates, who's already won a race today, because apparently the track is easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not feeling as confident about this one, but I'm just going to go and have fun, you know.
You've got a lot of championship contenders behind you. Do you reckon you can keep them behind you?
Yeah, I might maybe spoil a few people's days.
We'll see about that. Ocean, have a good one. Let's go and talk to those championship contenders now. Lining up alongside each other are Sam Spinell of Coventry and Piers Pryor of Loughborough in the 1 and 2 car. Let's go to Sam first, as he's on my left. Sam, not the best of races for you this morning.
Nah, it didn't go to plan. Just a few mistakes. Hopefully we can catch up though.
How important is it to keep this man on your left behind you in this race?
Honestly, at the moment it's just about getting to the front. Points really do matter, so if I'm going to waste time battling with Piers, there's no point. So maybe work together and sort out at the end if I can.
That's interesting to hear. I'm going to go see what he's got to say about this. Piers, just heard from Sam that you might have to work together because there's no point battling each other to lose time.
Yeah, maybe. I'll just go out there and do the best I can. Race this morning went pretty horrifically, if I'm honest, so trying to redeem myself a bit.
Yeah, neither of you had the best of mornings. Can you make up for it this afternoon?
Yeah, definitely. That's what the plan is anyway. Hopefully it'll be a good race. At least it'll warm me up. I'm absolutely freezing.
It's very, very cold today, isn't it?
So cold. But anyway, warmer on track, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, you go out there and warm yourself up. I'll sit all freezing here in the paddock. Those are your championship contenders. Then we're going to squeeze in one last interview, or not, rather, because the race is about to get underway. Let's have a quick chat with Kyle Knight again. Kyle, we spoke to you earlier, and I'm not sure you can hear me, but how'd you get on this morning?
Pretty poorly, if I'm being honest. Didn't go well.
Can you make up for it this afternoon?
Well, I mean, hopefully I'll overtake these two, but chances of that happening aren't that high.
Just follow them through to the front, you'll be fine.
Get him out, then I'll slide through. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
An optimistic Kyle Knight for Newcastle University. Kyle, all the best keeping up with them.
Huh?
All the best keeping up with them.
I will do. Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure you heard me there, really. We are supposedly getting going. We'll go for one more interview if we can, although I'm not sure people can hear me too well. I'm just looking to see if Oxford Brookes A are in this race. I don't think they are. Never mind, we're getting going anyway. All right, for the last time this season, I'll introduce you to our commentary team of Double Dash Motorsport Media, Andrew Mather and Howard Mitchell. Lads, talk us through race number 1.
Yes, hello everybody. It is the final round of the longest ever British Universities Karting Championship. Myself, Howard Mitchell and Andrew Mather of Double Dash Motorsport Media in the comms box for you. We are going to go straight into a grid because they go straight into rolling up laps now, so apologies if I race through this and get ahead of the graphic. We've got to try and fit them all in. Manchester A on pole, Hearts A alongside, Brookes B and Brookes D are row 2, row 3 is Brookes C and Nottingham Trent B, then it's Brighton A and UWTSDA on 4, row 5 is De Montfort B and Birmingham B, and it's Coventry A and Loughborough A on row number 6. Row 7 is Newcastle B and Birmingham A, Leeds A and Sheffield A make up 8, Nottingham Trent A and Birmingham C make up row 9, row 10 is going to be Warwick B and Exeter A, Exeter B and Southampton A on row 11, row 12 is Nottingham A and Loughborough C, then it's going to be Warwick A and De Montfort A, Imperial A and Nottingham Trent C, Newcastle A and Cambridge A are round out your top 30. Then it's going to be Swansea A, Leeds B and Bournemouth A. Apologies for racing through it, folks, but we want to try and show you all of the grids. Still really healthy grids under challenging circumstances, which is great to see. And I think we are going to be good for a start. So it's Ocean Bates on pole, race winner in our round earlier today. And it's going to be eyes on the lights, and away we go for race 1 of round number 8. Here we go, heading towards Billy's Blind for the first time. Ocean Bates with a good start from pole. Lucas Sullivan is going to follow through from grid number 3, but we have got some spinners. There's a Warwick kart involved there, and also the 56 is round of Imperial A. That's Alex Doricott at the wheel there. Ocean Bates defending here from Lucas Sullivan in the early stages, who's in that Brookes B kart in the number 3. as they come through hairpin, Hans hairpin for the first time. They'll then go through the horseshoe. We've got a spinner in the horseshoe as well. It's the number 22 of Brighton A, Alex Mitchell there, spinning from quite high up. Not sure if it was an unforced error or he was helped into it, but he's dropped down the order. Unfortunately, he was come through to finish the first lap. And it is Ocean Bates for Manchester A, then Lucas Sullivan for Oxford Brooks B, Brooks C, Brooks D, and Hearts A, your top 5. Good start from Hertfordshire A. They had a challenging round 7 just now. Hopefully they'll be looking to have a slightly stronger one this time. Karts who are off the back, Brighton A, as I mentioned, Imperial A, and Warwick A it was, who was the Warwick kart spun round there at Billy's Blind. So not the start that Warwick A wanted. As our leaders come through horseshoe for the second time. Andrew has been doing the maths whilst we were off air. Well, I humbly helped a little bit, but he's been doing the main calculations here, and will be able to update us on the championship situation as we get going, as time progresses. Maybe give you that, I don't know, ahead of race 2 we might be able to call that one for you. Bournemouth A have a black flag though for taking out another competitor, and I have to assume that competitor is Birmingham C, although because they've dropped to the back of the order, although Cambridge A have been given a black flag for the same, and that might have been taking out Birmingham A. 2 Birmingham karts in peril here, Birmingham A and Birmingham C down to the back in this one. They've just had a stonking round 7, have Birmingham A taking an overall podium, which has really helped them in their pursuit of the Clubman Class Championship here today. Neither of our championships sealed up in round 7. It is going to this last round in all of them. Penalty for Newcastle B there, forcing a driver wide. That's going to be 4 positions at the end of the race. Bit of a swap amongst the top tier. Brooks D have got past Brooks C now in this one. So George Belloc Ruiz ahead of Aidan Lee, who had a really strong drive earlier on here today. The sun may be beating down on Clay Pigeon, which is good to see, because everybody knows when we get rain and fog here, it never rains, it pours here at Clay, to be perfectly honest. However, the real thing here is the wind. The wind, if anything, has got even stronger. It's such a strong headwind as they're coming down this straight. We can see them on now, on the Sturmey Straight, towards the hairpin. And Andrew with a good theory as well whilst we were off air, mentioning to me the reason we think we've seen so many spins through Billy's Blind, maybe because of that, what would be a tailwind going into that corner, and just as you get turning, that wind, if you get a gust, it really is strong enough that it might be unsettling the rear of the karts and putting them into a spin. Here we go though, Aidan Lee trying down the inside of who is that he's trying to get down the inside of, actually? Is that the 17 that's come to play? No, the 17 is defending against Coventry A. So this is the 17 of Nottingham Trent A. Apologies, I'm jumping around the order a bit. The 17 of Nottingham Trent A is defending against Coventry A and Loughborough A. They said on the grid, or Spinale said they may have to work together. You know what? They are so far, Coventry A and Loughborough A. Just trying to confirm who's in that Nottingham Trent A car. It is Sam Pooley in that one. And there you go. It's written on the back of his suit. Nice new suits from the Nottingham Trent lot. So this is the battle over 5th place. The 17, the 1 and the 2. Just ahead of them up the road, the Brooks C car with Aidan Lee at the wheel. Still Ocean Bates leading this one.
Just to give your voice a break for a moment, mate. Here's your situation, everybody. In both of the classes, we are down to 2 teams each. So sad news for in the Prems and overall stakes. Sad news for Exeter and Loughborough. This is mainly because of Brooks A having a really strong morning in terms of how the drop scores are currently in play, but could be in play, what teams have got locked in if they, have 4 disqualifications and all of that. Oxford Brooks A are guaranteed at least 410 points at the end of round 8. They could improve that up to as far as 415 we'll wait and see on that one. But they've definitely got 410. Now, they could retire from every race. They're still going to get 410. There's only one team who mathematically can beat that, and that's Coventry A, who have got a possible 412 on the board. Exeter A are currently guaranteed 403, can only go as far as 407, so sadly they're out of it. Loughborough A are currently on 399 guaranteed, can only go as well to 407, so it's down to those two, Brooks and Coventry, and at the moment it's advantage Brooks. Similar story in Clubman. Birmingham A have a guaranteed for the championship this year 337. They could mathematically improve that to 356. Leeds have a guaranteed 329, could improve it to 349. Nobody else in Clubman can overhaul Birmingham's 337.
Okay, so the conclusion there being, we sadly say that Exeter A and Loughborough A are out of the hunt.
But could still get
for
third.
Prems. But could still get third. There's a battle there to be had over the overall podium for the championship. But the championship in Prems, the overall win of the championship, is down to Oxford Brooks A and defending champions Coventry A. The most successful team in BUKC history versus the most successful team in the BUKC last year and up until this point in the season where they came into today leading the championship. So a really interesting pairing there. Clubman's perhaps less of a shock that it's now just down to Birmingham A and Leeds. Sheffield were were a little way off the back of them in the championship standings, but it is now confirmed. It is just Birmingham A versus Leeds A for that. So it's a battle between two teams in both classes, Birmingham A and Leeds A for Clubman's, Brooks A and Coventry A in Prems. Well, to that, where are they right now? We're looking here at Nottingham Trent A, the number 17. This is the battle over third place. Oh, we've got a driver spun round at the horseshoe, and that is the 32 of Birmingham B with a spun round there. Not sure why they're not getting, though they are waiting just for a gap. Okay. This is Sam Spinale on the tail of Nottingham Trent A here. On the tail of second place. So Sam Spinale trying to get all the points he can, trying to get past Sam Pooley there. The Brooks D card is in fourth. The Brooks B, it's Brooks D, Brooks B and Brooks C. So already, given what Andrew's just said to us, this is a crucial moment for Brooks. Can the Brooks B, C and D cart deny Coventry points by getting past Sam Spinale?
Do it. Yeah,
Sam's got by them.
It's where they really, really come into play. I'm just going to say, I think that Birmingham B driver just forgot that he had a clutch. I think he went back a couple of years and thought he was needing to wait for a pusher car.
It was a cautious rejoining. We've all had the cut briefing videos at indoor track. You join when it's safe to do so. But that was a particularly safe re-entry there. So yes, whilst Andrew was updating us on that championship situation, to be honest, Sam Spinale did the hard graft because he got by all of the Brooks drivers. Now, Piers Pryor there in the number 2 kart. I have to say what Andrew has just said to us is, A, we must stress unofficial. It is our own tracking of the results, but we did also reference the official results of round 7 in constructing that maths.
I have had a number of team members ask me if that is the situation as well. Yeah, change for
the change for the lead. Sam Spinale has not only got past Sam Pooley, but he's got past Ocean Bache. I wonder if Bache overcooked it into the Billy's blind corner. As there's an incident here in the S's, someone sent the tyres flying. It's a Clubman runner there in the middle of it all. Was that 34? Was that Leeds? It is Leeds. It is Leeds. It's the number 34 that has sent the tyres flying. Where have they spun? It's Leeds A who have spun out from 8th place. Big drop for Leeds A, that's going to be then, and that is significant. That is crucial in the Clubman Championship. Sam Spinale takes a wider line through Billy's blind, but that doesn't give Sam Pooley an opportunity because there's yellows out for recovering those tyres there. This is ideal for Coventry. Sam Spinale is doing exactly what he needs to do. Beautifully took the lead from Ocean Bache at the same time as getting past Sam Pooley in that Nottingham Trent A kart. Now, Piers Pryor, you know, what I'll finish the point I was making. What Andrew just said was, unofficial and provisional, but we're pretty confident it's based off of the official scoring for round 7. We're probably about as confident as we're going to be at any point between now and the end of the round, because we had the calm of the lunch break to do the maths and check it against the official scoring and all sorts. So that's pretty hot off the press. Loughborough are not necessarily going to, but Piers Pryor is not going to be out there going, I know that I'm not in the championship hunt anymore. He's going to think that he's in it, and he is obviously trying to do as best as he can. He told Jacob as much on the grid. There's no reason why the policy should change, because they are in a battle with Exeter A over some podium spots on the grid. So here the pink lid of Piers Pryor. It is unfortunate news for them. Loughborough are not going to take the championship, but they still want to do as well as they can. But at the moment, it is Sam Spinale who leads for Coventry. Not by much though. Sam Pooley keeping him very honest. Here they are, putting a lap on the Exeter B kart, the 37. Which I think has had to go, yes, it had to go into the pit lane, the Exeter B kart, with a mechanical flag. First time we've seen a mechanical flag today, to my knowledge. It's an orange circle on a black background. And
it's a spicy meatball.
It is, it's known as the meatball flag. This is never a nice one to see, because it's basically saying that probably for something beyond your control, your race is ruined.
Howard's going to go eat his lunch. I've eaten mine. Piers Pryor has had some lunch as well, I presume. The British Formula 3 driver. He's currently running in 5th place. You're watching live coverage of the 8th and final round of the British Universities Karting Championship live here on Alpha Live from Clay Pigeon Raceway, just outside of Dorchester, or kind of midway between Dorchester and Yeovil. Great circuit, great history. It's the circuit where Jenson Button, of course, started his career with Father John back when he was a young boy. 12 minutes of this one to go. There's the current leader, Coventry A. They've just got to give it everything now. It very much is advantage Brooks at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see how they play the tactics. They did a stellar job this morning. Got the points in, got the championship lead. It's all over to Coventry now to see how can they respond. They have been in this position, of course, before, of course, and they have a similar kind of job to do at Glanny-Gores, which feels so long ago now, pre-lockdown in early March. They had a poor first round of the day and then bounced back in the second round. Oh, big off! Oh, that's a big one. I think that's down at Billy's... No, it's last corner. That's top bend. I can't see who it is. The driver looks okay. But that is a nasty, nasty place to come off a kart circuit. That is high speed. Is that just... No, it's after pit entry. We don't know how that's happened. There's not much runoff there. Marshall's running to him. You can see him there, yeah, buried in the tyres on the left-hand side. I think we'll just try and cover this with double yellows for now.
I suspect. Oh,
that was a strange one.
21 in the wall there, then.
Now was the contact? It'd be good to get a replay of that. There's a black flag for Trent C.
Leeds B is there. The one who I think is off at the top bend, mate, I think is Southampton A.
Oh, okay.
I think it is the 13 with George Palozzi at the wheel. That is what I suspect it to be. That's what timing suggests.
Hope George is okay. He was on his feet, but did look a little bit shaken. There has been a change for the lead out there. There is George. No, I don't think he's going to be pushing that kart back out anytime soon. We hope he's okay. If he's due to race later in the weekend, hope he's fit to do that. Nottingham Trent A now your leaders. Not seeing any penalties or warnings for Coventry. I didn't think there was any contact with them and the 21 kind of caught themselves up. Let's have a look at this again. So Spinale down the inside. No, the 21's lost that all on his own. The 21 is locked up, and I do think it's this wind. It's just looking at the flags. They're coming across the circuit. If you're looking at a map of this circuit from the bird's eye view, the wind is coming from the big hairpin at the top of the corner and running almost diagonally straight across to Billy's blind and the hard braking right-hand corner that they're in now. So just as you turn in there is a horrible crosswind for the drivers to deal with. And if it gets a little bit gusty, I reckon that can just push you around. It sounds bizarre, but it is something that I've experienced myself at places such as Shennington, which is another wide open fast circuit on top of a big hill. Very windy in that part of the world because it used to be an airfield, of course, and you can get that moment if the wind gets up, your own back acts as a parachute and can push you wide. 9 minutes of this one to go, still Nottingham Trent A leading this race. There is the number 74. That is not a kart racing for position in this one. Nottingham Trent B are currently a lap down, but they are helping out their teammates here, just trying to pull them along maybe, with Coventry A not too far behind. This is still a good position, of course, for Coventry A. I think they would have taken a second place at the start of this one, but they can't afford any mistakes now for the rest of the day. Yellow flag is out. In fact, we've got full course yellow, haven't we? We've gone full course yellow. I'm not surprised about that. This is still for the incident up at the last corner involving George Palozzi and Southampton A. We have gone to full course yellow.
Can I just say that
see this?
we do, and as a result, mate, it is classic territory for drivers not knowing the rules.
Yep.
I'm just going to say, that's not me saying I'm seeing demonstrations of it. I'm just saying they do need to be conscious of that, and this is as they rebuild tyres.
I'm not seeing any sign of a full-on safety car, so this isn't like the situation we had down at Rye House in Club 100 a few weeks ago in the E60 race, which you may have seen on a couple of the vlogs doing the rounds, our own DDMM vlog and Jimmy Broadbent's as well. We're back to green flag, so yeah, we didn't need a full safety cart for that one. We covered it under full course yellow. The Southampton cart is now out of the barrier and away again. Oh, in fact, Sam Spinell's caught them out. That's great from Sam Spinell. Back to green. Has caught out Nottingham Trent's driver, responded to the green flag quicker and has got back into the lead. Great stuff there from the former Hertfordshire man. That is what you have to look out for off a full course yellow. And Sam Spinell was straight on it and has got back to the front in this race. What can Nottingham Trent A do about this one? Still there, they're still holding a good position. And for Sam Pooley, he's had a great season. In fact, oh, what's going on here? No, now swap again, around again. Pooley back to the front then. Spinell fighting back on the inside. Spinell had his hand up there as if he was acknowledging a yellow flag. I didn't see one myself down at marginal post 1, and there's somebody off on the back straight. There they are.
It's William Toon.
Thank you.
And there's someone else off with him as well. I think it started at the S's, mate.
Yeah, I think it's one of the lower Nottingham Trent teams that's had an off as well. It might be the 74. Don't start from there, mate. That is the grass. You're going to get DQ'd. If that's been spotted as I've spotted it, that's...
Have you seen who's the spotter on the S's at the moment?
It's JV.
Yeah.
That's not going to get missed. That's going to be a DQ, I think, for Nottingham Trent B, I think it is, for starting on the grass. Black flag for Oxford Brooks D. This race has started to break down a little bit here. What is that for? It is for an overtake under yellow.
No, it's for takeout.
Is it for takeout?
Birmingham B have just been given
got a penalty for overtake under yellow. So drivers not respecting the flags, not respecting the regulations, and penalties are starting to be acquired. Not for these two, though. Great race this so far between the two Sams. Spinell ahead of Pooley. 1-2, 5.5 minutes to go here at Clay Pigeon. Loughborough A and Exeter A now up to 5th and 4th respectively, trying to work together. Both of them out of the championship battle, sadly, now. Change for the lead. Pooley back to the front ahead of Sam Spinell. Curb warning for Sam Spinell as well in his number 1. Just under 3 seconds is their gap back to Newcastle A. Just trying to work their way past the Birmingham B car, but number 32. Leeds A are on the recovery drive. They've got back up to 16th place. Searching for points. Mistake for Pooley there. Clipped the curb big time. And he's going to be side by side with Spinell into Billy's blind. Who's going to get the braking right? Can Spinell hold it on the inside? Yes, he can. Great move. Holds the inside, doesn't go too deep. Retakes the lead for Coventry A, but they've got more traffic coming up. They've got local rivals Warwick just ahead of them in the number 10. Track limit warning for the number 10. That'll have been out of the last corner, where drivers have been warned they cannot run all four wheels over the white line. There's a horrible, nasty, bumpy curb there, which John Viger doesn't like his karts running over, and I don't blame him. Here it is. Gap is slightly closing to back to Newcastle A as they deal with this traffic. As once again, look, it's happening all the time. Drivers getting a little bit wide. There'll be less grip out there as well on the outside of the right-hander. As once again, side by side for the lead, the two Sams. You saw the Warwick driver get really all crossed up there. Did well to hold onto that one and live to fight for another day. So that was, as I say, the number 10 with David Macbeth driving for Warwick at the moment. 3.5 minutes to go. We're staying with this lead battle. Number 35 just ahead of them. And Sam Spinell will probably look for a move down into Billy's blind. No, he just stays and holds position for now. Looks for the undercut. No, it's not there. And this is the frustration sometimes for some of the leading drivers. The 35 doesn't know that that's the leaders coming through. Doesn't want to defend too hard. Switches to the outside. Not aware that the number 17's there as well, who's got a contact warning now. So the leader's not too happy with the 35. And in fact, I think it's cost him a position because Warwick have got back through. Keeping an eye on the Inters battles as well. Can't forget the promotion and relegation as well, which we'll try and tap into across the course of this afternoon. For the likes of Sheffield and UWE A and Oxford Brooks D. Their chances of winning the club and title may be over, but there's spots available for the Premier class for the 2020-21 season. Penalty for second place. Multiple pieces of contact. And Trent A will not be able to win this race now. Here's a battle between the 16 and the 2. This is over 5th place. I think this is Phil Craven. No, it's not Phil Craven, it's Johnny Knight. Johnny Knight and Piers Pryor fighting over a position high up there in the order. Just trying to look where Johnny started. Johnny started down in 26th place. It's been a great run for Johnny Knight. They've not got their full team here this weekend, De Montfort, but they've had a fantastic season. They've had a fantastic couple of seasons here in the BUKC. And they're looking to finish this on a high. So the number 26 of Manchester A not too far behind. Ocean Beach said he wasn't as confident with this race when he was on the grid with Jacob. I think he'll still be pretty pleased though. Another top 10 for him if he can close this one out. He got a win earlier. Another team in the same vein as De Montfort, who've really come on in the last few years. 1 minute 20 to go then. I think we know which way this one's going. Yes, there has been a lead change out there on circuit. Remember, Trent A have a penalty, so even if they win by the biggest amount of time you could possibly measure around this circuit, they still won't win the race because penalties are done by position, not time, here in the BUKC. Change for 10th place. Nottingham A have got ahead of Brooks B. Two teams fighting for places in the top 10 overall. Track limit warning for the 35 and a curb warning for the 21. Johnny Knight, what a drive this is. He's now closed up to the back of Exeter A's driver in the number 5. Jensen Brown, who had a great race earlier on in the day. Last lap board is now out for the leaders, and Johnny Knight's gone through. You can tell you just past my commentary box window, Johnny Knight has gone through and into 4th place. Last lap then for the leaders. And Sam Spinell looking to close out a victory here. They are still fighting over the place on the road. They don't need to. It's always the thing with the penalties. Does the driver in 2nd place know that the 17 has a penalty? Has he spotted the number board? Has he spotted the penalty on the digi-flag? Don't think it's going to matter too much though. Round the final corner, Sam Pooley will take the win on the road but has a penalty for contact. So Sam Spinell will take the 60 points, and that is just the start that Coventry, the reigning champions, needed here in round 8. The rest of them come over the line. 3rd for Newcastle A, 4th for a great drive from Johnny Knight from the back of the grid. gets himself into the top 5. Exeter A 5th, Loughborough A 6th. Ocean Beach follows up his win earlier with another top 10. BUKC 8th, Trinity A 9th, Nottingham A 10th, then Brooks B, Newcastle B, Swansea A, Sheffield A, and a good result there for Hertfordshire as well, one of their best of the day there in the top 15. Leeds A, Birmingham A, the two fighters in Clubman, 16th and 17th respectively. I don't think that'll be too bad news for Birmingham, because they just need to mark whatever Leeds do for the course of the day. Imperial A, Loughborough C and De Montfort B finishing top 20, then Cambridge A, Warwick A and Warwick B. Exeter B, Brighton A down to 25th. Birmingham C, Bournemouth A, Trent B, Leeds B, Birmingham B wrapping up the top 30. And then the last three carts in that field, Trent C, Brooks D. Oh, that's not good news for Brooks D in their Premier hopes of trying to get one of those 4 spots to hop up from clubs to Prems next year. And Southampton A, as soon as we've got word on George Palozzi's condition, we will let
A bit of a disrupted one, wasn't it? But Coventry there with a very important result. Let's head down to Jacob.
Thank you, Howard. I'll just let the lads have a quick chat amongst themselves. I think it's Sam Spinell I'm speaking to. Yeah, Sam Pooley has picked up a penalty, so Sam Spinell takes the win in that one. Just let him get his lead out of the cart, Sam. And bring him over here to a social distance there. Apologies if you are getting any feedback on the microphone. The wind is pretty strong, but Sam, you are classed as the winner of that race.
Yeah, it was a really good battle. I saw you got a penalty 2 laps at the end, so I just decided to stay behind. It was not worth. I had a few warnings, so I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, good battle between the two of you throughout, though.
Yeah, it was really close. We were both playing intelligent. When we had space, we'd fight. When people were behind, we'd keep pushing together. It was a good little battle.
And of course, Coventry, one of 2 teams now that's been confirmed by Andrew and Howard, are still in the with a chance of winning this championship. And you guys need maximum points, so good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. I mean, it's in Brooks's hands at the moment, so we just need to get the results and hope for the best.
Well, your destiny's in your own hands. If you win every single race you're in, they can't possibly beat you.
True, yeah, you're right.
Take control, Sam. Tell your team.
Yeah, I need to be the alpha.
Exactly. Eye of the tiger.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Congratulations on your win. Sam Spinell there of Coventry University, who are one of 2, as we said, still in the chance of winning the BUKC 2020. Unfortunately, Loughborough and Exeter are left to fight it out for the remaining places. Only Brooks or Coventry, according to Andrew and Howard, mind you, can win this championship. Right, onwards, race number 2. The drivers haven't yet started filling out the grid, but let's head towards the front and see who's coming down to meet us. They should be coming any moment now. We're not weighing from the previous race, so I'm not quite sure what the hold-up is. Here they come now, and I can see, I think that's Matthew Graham, is it, heading towards us in the nice black suit, gold helmet. We'll have a quick chat with him if he's heading towards the front of the grid. Mr. Graham.
Hello.
Another sloss at the front of the grid.
Yeah, another front start, so we're going to look for another win. Give it our best again, see how it goes.
What did you have to do to get hold of these?
Lots of dirty dealings going on in the UE camp, so I'd watch out for that. But yeah, no, I definitely had to show the guys that I could actually perform to get these grid slots. So yeah, that's how I got them basically.
Say no more. I don't need to know what's going on in your tent tonight. Well, make the most of it.
Thank you very much.
Matthew Graham there. Let's have a chat with this man who's putting the number 33 on this card. I'm afraid I can't recognise the 33 or the person in the helmet. Who's this?
Chris for Loughborough C.
Chris, how's Loughborough C's day going? Obviously the A's have been ruled out of the overall championship, but how about you guys?
Not great.
Is that not great?
Yeah, I think we were 36th overall, so...
Well, round about where you were last year. That's a nice consistent performance from me.
Yeah, I suppose. It's my first weekend, so...
Are you enjoying it?
That's me getting in 25 minutes.
All right then, I will. Chris, have a good race and hopefully see you again later. Chris there probably had a bit of an indifferent morning I'd imagine. I think we've got Bath here. Who have we got? It's Sam Baxter. Sam, how are you?
Good, thanks. How's it going?
Not too bad. That's what I was just about to ask you, actually. It's going all right for me, though. What about yourself?
I don't know. I had good pace this morning, but I got taken out in the first corner, so ended up towards the back. I don't know. I think with the pace we could maybe do quite well here. We need a decent round result, I think, to stay in the top 10 in the championship, so hopefully we can do that.
Top 10's a decent result, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. That would be really good for us. Best we've had since I've been at the uni, so yeah.
It's all because of you, right?
I don't know about that.
That's what we'll tell the viewers at home.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
There you are. A couple of hundred people believe that you are the man who's made it happen for Bath. Cheers, Sam. Who have we got in behind in the number 24? Who's this?
Ollie Underwood.
Ollie, how are you doing today?
Yeah, very good. First race was really promising. Had something to prove, being put in the second team, and I think I did the job.
Who's dropped you? Who's responsible for this?
Oh, that is Adam Fleming all over.
So apparently Adam's been crying because I've never interviewed him. Is that true?
Very much so. Every minute of the waking day is talking about it.
Well, I'm not normally one to pander to whinging, but I will try and have a chat with him at the last race of the day. Whilst you're on, have you got anyone you want to say hi to at home?
Mum and Dad, friends. Hi.
Hello everyone watching at home. Have a good race, hopefully you can make them all proud.
Thank you.
Alright, number 21's in behind here. Who have we got in the 21?
Robert.
Sorry, what was that?
Robert.
Robert, how are you doing today?
Okay, first race, I was 19th, the rest of the team doing okay, nothing special. We've had a bit of bad luck with getting binned, but yeah, that's how it goes in BUKC.
I don't think I've got hold of anyone from Leeds today. Are you guys suffering from the lack of social activity the night before? Usually you guys are in the pub till late, aren't you?
Yeah, I think Tom Dent in particular, you know, he did pretty poorly this morning. Must be because he's not hungover, so yeah.
Disappointing times for Mr. Dent, not that he doesn't normally disappoint us here on the live stream. Well, Robert, what can we expect to see from you in this race?
Hopefully I can keep it around here, stay in the top 10. That's kind of the plan, but we'll see.
A man who won a race this morning is sat directly behind you. Can you keep him behind you?
Hopefully, but yeah, if you won then it's not going to be easy, but I'll try my best.
Well, good luck with it. I'm going to go have a quick chat with him now. Diego, looking very relaxed there in your car, as you should be since you won the race this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good.
Are you excited for this one? Do you reckon you can make it 2 from 2?
I'll be a bit tough. I think podium should be, I think I could get there, but winning would be a bit difficult.
Winning will be a bit difficult. All right, well, hopefully I'll speak to you after the race. Good luck with getting to that podium. Let's shuffle a bit further back. We've got Nathan Little from Brighton. Nathan, how are you?
Yeah, not so bad. Second place in Clubman's earlier, 5th overall, so hopefully we can do it for the B team and get the win for Clubman's this time.
And you're racing on Sunday, aren't you?
Pardon?
You're racing on Sunday, aren't you?
Yes, Sunday and actually tomorrow as well, so 3 days in a row, what could be better?
Nathan's big weekend. Well, off he goes now for race number 2. This is the second of our lightweight races. After this we'll have a middleweight and then 2 heavyweights. And unfortunately, that's all we've got. Andrew and Howard, back to the comms box for you guys to talk us through race number 2.
Thank you, Jacob. You ready, everyone? Here comes my audition as a rap artist. Cambridge A's Samuel Gerrard starts on pole with Callum Evans alongside UWTSDB. UEA have Matthew Graham, and Loughborough C have Chris Hancock's on row number 2. Ben Brewster starts for Nottingham A from 5th, with Bath A's Sam Baxter from 6th. Row 4 is Birmingham B's Junior Zhao and Ollie Underwood for Newcastle A. Huddersfield A have Sam Wilson, with Leeds B having Alex Megginson. On row 5, row 6 is Callum Brooks for Exeter B and Diego Martinez for Southampton A. Row 7 is Warwick B's Chris Miles and Nottingham Trent C's Fraser Glaseby. Row 8 is Warwick A's Archie Hobson and Swansea A's Alex Rees. Row 9 is Bournemouth A's Piers Fairston and Nathan Little for Brighton B. Row 10 is Bath B's Ben Mayo and Angus Brett for Cambridge B. Row 11 is De Montfort B's Don Bessel and Newcastle B have Aaron Leichman. Row 12 is Oxford Brooks A's Tom Geeney and Angus Fender for Brooks B. Then it's Gareth Haynes for Brooks C, Sam Johns for UWTSD A, Will Stacey for Leeds A, Max Reed for Loughborough B. Coventry A have Joe Fowler, and then it's Elena Lopez for Brighton A to round out your top 30. Then it's going to be Nottingham Trent B's Will Toon, James Mills for Loughborough A, and Manchester A's Thomas Manty. And we are go for race number 2 of round 8, the last lightweight sprint race of the year for BUKC mains. And it's Sam Cobb into turn number 1, or is it Sam Gerrard with Sam Cobb's helmet? I'm immediately confused. It's Cambridge A into the lead, retaining the lead that they started with. Of course it's Sam Cobb. I can't keep there. Anyway, and an incident there into the hairpin. Driver spun round there. That is the only incident I can see around the lap. There were a couple who've got underway again then. Billy's Blind will call them as they come round. I don't know if any of the drivers' names I said during the grid are legit, but there we go. They're coming around to finish this first lap. Around the top crown here, as there's a penalty for De Montfort B right off the bat for loading at the start. So that one's going to be quite severely penalised. Cambridge A, your leaders. Newcastle A, we know it's Ollie Underwood in Newcastle A's car, and he has had a cracking start. Remember, he had such a good sprint. Big incident here, though, down at Billy's Blind. Multiple karts involved, at least 5 off there. I can see there's a black flag for Loughborough C for an advantage by contact, taking out of a fellow competitor. Who've had incidents so far? Nottingham Trent C have, Birmingham B have, Brighton A I think have had an incident out there as well. We're going to call out who these are dropping down the order for this one. Black flag for Nottingham Trent B as well for a taking out of a fellow competitor. It's all kicking off in the early phases here. Sam Cobb keeping a clear head through it at the start. Ollie Underwood also for Newcastle A with a clear head. UWTSDB up to 3rd place as well. Good job for them so far. Still showing that De Montfort B penalty. Who's dropping down the order? Bath B, Brooks C, Brooks B are dropping down the order. Newcastle B, Loughborough C are dropping down the order. I think those are your karts who were involved there.
Yeah, they all got going pretty quickly, but a conglomeration there down at Billy's Blind, which is being officiated by the one and only John Viger today, so the Hawkeyes are out and catching everything.
The head of Club 100 being the spotter there. Look at this though, Ollie Underwood challenging for the lead. Sam Cobb's going to have to go defences, and he's brilliant. That was brilliant positioning. He knew that there was the chance that Underwood was going to be able to tuck under, so what does he do? He shuts the door immediately. It's slower for him, but it cuts off that line for Ollie Underwood. They have though got Matthew Graham in that UEA car who won a race earlier today. In fact, this one's interesting, Andrew. We've got 2 race winners towards the front and a driver who finished 2nd in their sprint, if memory serves correct, in the form of Ollie Underwood for Newcastle A. This is a tasty one in terms of who's already shown some proficiency at this circuit earlier today. I do want to give mention to something though, as Brighton B get a penalty, who are otherwise having a very
change for the lead here, Howard.
Side by side.
Power for Newcastle, although good top end there for Sam Cobb, comes back ahead. There is a yellow flag out though down into Billy's bend because some tyres are being replaced down in Billy's Blind.
Yeah, mate, out in the race for Loughborough A this time around is James Mills, and I think there's a story about James Mills' sprint race in the earlier round that we should say, because it's when we said that Loughborough A are no longer, as there's a penalty for Huddersfield A for overtaking under yellows. When we say that Loughborough are not in the championship hunt, one part of that is what occurred to Loughborough A on literally the last lap of the round.
Yeah, they had a takeout or took somebody out.
They took out De Montfort B, I seem to recall.
The result of that is a 1-lap deduction for Mills and Loughborough A, which ruined their results in not just that race, but in the round, of course, as well. As down the inside there goes Matthew Graham for UWE A and takes the lead away from Sam Cobb. Matthew Graham, I have been really impressed with this driver this season. It's the first time in the BUKC. It's a lot of experience in other series, but has taken to the nuances of this series very, very well, and now has the lead again here at Clay Pigeon. He's got the number 24 of Newcastle A just behind him. Then Sam Cobb for Cambridge. Nottingham A, we've not talked about them too much today, but they've been doing some good work there. We're here in the top 5 now. Oh, Graham runs wide, and that's going to be the opportunity for Newcastle A to go through, and they take it. It's a great run there for Newcastle A. And they have been having this really strong season. Well, we should mention as well, this is Newcastle A, the second team, not the forerunning team for Newcastle University this season.
Andrew, I've just done the maths. Loughborough A crossed the line in 12th place.
Yes.
But they got sent to the very back as a result of that lap deduction. that was the difference between them finishing 9th in round 7 and finishing 5th in round 7. That is the difference between 9th and 5th.
So you're telling me that they lost 4 championship points as a result of that incident?
So they were on a tie break. They finished where they did on a tie break. The points that they had, they were settling on a 14th, a 4th and a 9th. So they were resting on that 14th rather than the 12th they would have got. So they would have had 2 more points across the races. So, there were a few tie breaks in there, which means that the position, it was the difference between 9th and 5th. Just one to bear in mind.
Very, very intriguing indeed. I don't know whether it would have kept them in. As I say, Oxford Brooks have hit a rich reign of form so far this morning. How are they doing in this race, though? They're in 15th at the moment. But I think this is their race that they start from the back of the field. So, they start 23rd with Tom Geeney in for the moment. So we wouldn't expect them to be at the very sharp end of the field in this race. This is a damage limitation job at the moment. If we could get maybe a top 10. Because it's something that we've seen... I don't think we've talked about it too much, but it is something that we've seen across the season.
Yeah.
Is that... I think it's because the field is so close at the moment, but you don't need to necessarily get the same level of scores across your 3 counting races this year to get yourself a 3rd or a 2nd in a round than perhaps we've seen in previous years. I had a very brief, socially distanced chat with some of the Birmingham team members because they're based just down to the left of our commentary box here. They were shocked when I told them that they were overall 3rd on the Special Series of Doom because they had a consistent morning. They had the very strong run in the last race, but, you know, no offence to them, none of the other results were like, wow, top 5 podiums in each individual race. So
it's a very good point. The standard at the moment means that you just don't see those massive drives up through the field as standard. You know, you gained 28, 29 positions. Bear in mind, we're coming to the end of our 2nd season now with the licensing system in the BUKC, and that was a move that was made, at the start of going into the 2019 season. They decided to introduce this. And I think it's genuinely had a good long-term impact on the standards. There's always still somebody for you to race. Don't forget, we've got this championship, we've got the intermediates tomorrow, but it's just that everybody, I think now has the suitable place for them to slot into and begin competing based on where their driving standards are at.
So now that Geeney's having a good race, he's now up to 13th place. We're keeping an eye on this battle around 5th place.
Should say this isn't the worst grid slot that BUKC have got this round. Kyle Morby will take the BUKC car from 27th on the grid of race 4.
You take my point, don't you, that this is their 3rd best grid slot, so you would think that, well, this needs to be one of the races that counts. Of the 4 races that each team does across a round, 3 of them get counted as part of their score. So if you have a duff race or you have a crash or a mechanical failure, whatever it may be, you've got that one get out of jail free card across the course of a round. Southampton A have just moved up to 7th place. There they are, ahead of the 31 of Bath A. Bath are going to fight back here though and retake that position. Didn't have the best of mornings in round 7, did Bath, but they've had a very, very strong season. Looking to close it out well and get maybe a top 10 overall. Contact warning for the 39 of Newcastle B. I am just going to check my crib sheet though that I've received from Willie Chew as to whether Newcastle A, that's the 2nd string team, are actually eligible in this race.
I think I would be surprised if they weren't. And there was a contact there with the 53. Didn't see which of the leads it was coming through on them, but that's Bath B spun round, and there was definitely contact there. Was that? I didn't catch whether that was UEA.
Oh, of course, yes, because it's Ollie Underwood in the kart, isn't he? Which is the previous first team driver that they've relegated to the 2nd team today, and they really shouldn't have, because he's having a barnstorm.
This is the egg on face moment for Harry Jones, I think.
Yes.
Here's the replay. Who was it who made contact with the 53?
Was there any contact at all?
Yes, there definitely was contact.
Ooh.
Now, where was Matthew going to go, in fairness? But that, to me, when I saw it live, that one was Yeah.
I'd like
For me,
another
that's
look at that
borderline.
one, Luke, if we can. Not that I am the steward's office.
Black flag
there we
for
go,
UEA.
black flag.
So they are just
It's
to
been
be
judged as a takeout.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're still happy to see it again. But,
oh, yeah.
but here we go.
Academic now. My one thought is the 53 losing the back end already? No,
they had turning.
No, that is a correct decision. I mean, again, it's JV down there.
Yes,
he's not going to make many wrong decisions, and if I say that he does make a wrong decision, he's going to chase me.
It's Ben Mayo in that Bath B kart who's down on a recovery drive, and right call, because that was an unfair taking out on him there.
So that's a shame for Matthew Graham, and it's also quite a key moment in UWE's day. Remember, they're currently holding one of the 4 prospective promotion spots from the Clubman class into the Premier class for next season. And they were needing a good result from Matthew Graham to start to solidify that position. It's Oxford Brooks D trying to snatch it off them in this last round of this 2019-2020 season. Yes, you did just hear me correctly. We're in the 9th month of 2020 and we're still doing the one that we started last year. Penalty for Newcastle B.
Really wide moment for UWTSDA in Billy's blind there, and it's allowed Sam... Oh, no, it hasn't allowed Sam Cobb by. How did they hold on to that? That was... They were almost exploring Cornwall there at Billy's blind. Was UWTSDA's Sam Johns. Oh gosh, Sam Johns as well. We really do have a lot of winners from today's earlier round in this one race, mate. You're not going to get many double race winners today. Here is Matthew. Well, presumably he's been shown. I'm just looking on top. Yeah, the black flag for UEA is still being shown, but he's still out there for now. There's Diego Martinez in the 13th Southampton A kart, running 9th. But here is the battle over second that just went through your screen. That was this battle here, the 55 versus the 12, but we believe the 55 should peel into the pits at any moment if he has seen the black flag. And he stays out for another lap. So not sure what the situation is with that. Where we are in our comms position, we are literally in line with the digiboard, so it's virtually impossible for us to see it unless I'm going to start hanging out the window of the comms box.
I'm not sure that's
but there is a camera. There is a camera looking at it, but well, I'm not sure if the black flag is still being shown to the driver. He's not coming around to finish the lap at this moment. Although, thank you guys on camera. They're really helping us out today. Anyway, this is the battle over second, where Sam Johns is now ahead of UEA, so it's changed anyway on track. Have UEA pulled into the pit lane? No, they haven't. He's still out there. I still have a black flag on timing. Newcastle 8 leads this race, 11.5 minutes to go. Ollie Underwood, fantastic drive. Fantastic driving he's been doing for Newcastle A in general today. But it's the wrong Newcastle kart in some respects. No one's going to begrudge their second team having this this win if it comes to fruition. Coventry A in 9th place, as there's a black flag for Warwick B for a takeout. Are there any stationary cars around the lap? Because that's a while since we've seen an incident that would provoke a takeout penalty. Not sure about that one, but they've been issued with the black flag, and there's a black flag for Brighton B as well. For ABC bump and pass. Now, well, it would usually be a penalty if it was just one offence, so I wonder if they've been done for multiple contact, and that's going to be expensive actually, because they're in 8th place, and Brighton B are one of those teams that we've been thoroughly impressed by today. Still, Matthew Graham is out there for UEA. We either haven't got the right info in the box, or he's ignoring it, or he's not looking at the board enough.
The one thing I will say, we should say from race 1, there has been
a
potential. The difficulty today, guys, in in pre-COVID times, if there was something I wasn't sure of in terms of race penalties, especially here at Clay Pigeon, I'm popping down the stairs and sticking my head through the door of race control. Can't do that at the moment. So some of our information isn't quite as up to date as usual. But Nottingham Trent's penalty that was shown on timing during race 1, I think has been rescinded, because as we look at the table now, it now has Trent as having won race 1, Coventry in second place. So we have seen it before. We have seen it on reflection that that penalties be rescinded. So we're not quite sure what's happened there. You never know. It could be that UE have had their black flag rescinded, as normally when a driver doesn't serve a black flag, you'll get the repeat showings.
Yeah,
yada yada.
Yeah,
yada,
it's not like, well,
in.
you didn't see it in time, so they would keep
Yeah.
showing it. But yeah, so yeah, but the significance of what Andrew's just said there is Nottingham Trent A's penalty was rescinded. Thus, Nottingham Trent A, we think, looking at the official result that was initially posted at least, if that is so, then Nottingham Trent A won the race. Jacob has interviewed the wrong race winner.
Unbelievable.
And that means that Sam Spinell will not have scored the full points for Coventry in that first race. They'll still have finished second and taken a fantastic points haul, and they're currently running 6th in this one, so they're still looking good, but it's just an important point to bear in mind. Brooks A up to 11th place at the moment. The only those are the two teams that the Premier battle is between. If you're a Brooks fan out there, don't worry too much at this stage, as we have the lead battle here, and Sam Johns going down the inside of Ollie Underwood of Newcastle A into the hairpin. Really clean. Hasn't Sam Johns been doing some beautiful passes?
It's been brilliant all year.
Really good stuff that he's giving today to the University of Wales, Trinity St David. But yeah, if it feels like Coventry have the early momentum in this round, in their hunt for the championship, they do, but bear a couple of things in mind. Firstly, Brooks A's race to sit out was the first one, so this is their first race. And secondly, this is one of their further down random grid slots for them to move up the grid from. So yes, Brooks A are running in 11th at the moment, but in the latter races, in races 3 and 5, where they have better grid slots, that will be their opportunity for it to come back to them if it's going to.
I've got to say that this has been an impressive race from Coventry A.
Oh yeah,
5th place at the moment. Started, what was it, 29th?
Oh wow! So but yes, maybe the momentum is with them if they can get that from that lowly grid spot. That means at some point in this race, mate, they've gone past Brooks A, because
in fact they've just gone up to 4th place. It would be good if we can get a sight of the number 1, Joe Fowler. We've not actually talked about him at all today. Haven't. We've talked about him a lot in previous
here he is.
entries. There he is. New suit suits you, sir. No Birrell Art suit for Joe today.
That's why we've not spoken about him. I haven't recognised
the
him.
familiar helmet, the one that I just reminds me of Jody Scheckter.
Yes, it does.
So we have seen Joe do this before. He is their drive through the field man, and he's done that here. So this, I don't disagree with anything you've said. It's still in Brooks's hands. But this is starting to increase the pressure a little bit.
Yes.
It's good to see this response from Coventry, that they've got 2 solid scores, touch wood. There's still another 6 minutes of this one to go.
Yeah, because remember, in their last race of the last round, we had Tom Fox running around a lap down.
Yeah.
Because of, I think, we never got to the bottom of it, actually. No. I think it might have been a kart issue. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure the Coventry squad at that moment were going, Are we really in the hunt for this championship?
Yeah,
but they certainly are now.
Sorry, mate. Brooks A have got past Southampton A, just spotted there. But I think Coventry are also right on the back bumper of UEA as well. There's a lot of key battles going on out there on circuit at the moment. There it is confirmed. Lutherby and Brooks A have got past Southampton on that last lap. Going down into the hairpin now, I can tell you there is the battle going on between 3rd and 4th place. This is a key one for the championship. Going into the horseshoe now, if we can get side of it. Number 55 and number 1 coming out of the horseshoe now. Well done, guys. Here it is. And Joe Fowler looking to the outside now of Matthew Graham. Can he get the switchback done? This is the one that we saw Matthew Taylor do for Brooks earlier on up the inside into top bend. He's got it done. Joe Fowler up into third place then. A fantastic run this. Keeping Coventry's hopes alive. And he's got 4.5 minutes. Mate, this one's not over.
Sam Cobb through as well, Andrew.
Sam Cobb has got past Huey as well, so that's him up to 4th. What's the pace like for Mr. Fowler, apart from quick? Well, that last lap he had to overtake somebody, so it's 41.8.
Yeah, but look at his best, Andrew. He's one of the few drivers to dip below the 41-second mark that we've seen today. So Fowler's pace is undeniable in this one.
He might have enough laps here to close in on Newcastle A. And if he gets a sniff of that number 24, we're going to see a race here, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most tenacious drivers in the BUKC, very experienced. As I say, he is often the driver Coventry asked to drive through the field. Where are our leaders? They are... Well, Sam Johns is just coming out of Horseshoe now.
Yeah, and here is...
And now Joe Fowler's coming out of Horseshoe. Yeah. 3.5 minutes of this one to go. Curb warning for the number 32, which is Birmingham B.
I do just want to give a couple of shout-outs. Nottingham A, Ben Brewster having a good drive in 6th. You know, when I talk about Nottingham being the kings and queens of consistency,
yes,
these are the kind of results where we just don't give them fair mention. And then you look at the end and go, wow, they've done a good job. Also a better time of it for Sam Baxter of Bath A this time. Bath having a better round so far than they did this morning.
Pace fairly even across the top 3. 41.399 for Trinity A and Sam Johns. 41.663 for Ollie Underwood and Newcastle A. 41.497 for Joe Fowler and Coventry A. This would still be a good result though. A second and a third already locked in for Coventry in this round if this race was to finish
first
in this manner.
Sorry, Andrew, first and second going through some traffic now, Andrew, so I would expect to see Joe reel them in.
Big lap, 41.2 from Joe, 41.5 for Ollie, 41.7 for Sam Johns. The gap is down to almost 2.5 seconds now with 2.5 minutes to go. Joe Fowler continuing to push on here for Coventry, knowing that they can have no mistakes, no errors. They've got to get the big points. They've got to put Brooks A under pressure.
Tom Geeney, though, continuing to respond for Brooks A. He's just got past UWTSDB for 9th place. So Brooks A are working their way up as well. This one is fascinating. Really, really fascinating stuff here.
Oh, a 40.862 from Fowler, and the gap is down to 2.1 seconds. Now, how can he get through this traffic? This is really, really key now. There is the number 12, the leader, Sam Johns. The number 24 somewhere in that mix, and there's the fastest man out on circuit, Joe Fowler for Coventry A. Remember, at the start of this week, they weren't going to be here.
There's one kart between Joe Fowler and Ollie Underwood in the 2nd place Newcastle B kart. So one would presume that Joe will clear that traffic on this straight. I think it's the 32 of Birmingham B, it is.
Yep.
So Joe wants to clear this well. If he can navigate this traffic quickly, he's still behind the Birmingham B kart though.
Sensibly.
But Ollie Underwood has traffic of his own to deal with. Oh, still not through for Joe.
1.3 now the gap at last count. 41.1 was the lap time from Joey. This one won't be a quick one here. But there is the number 74 that he's trying to go around the outside of. It's one of the, it's Will Toon, isn't it? One of the Nottingham Trent drivers. This hasn't been the greatest of laps, and now first and second have got through the traffic.
Even if this doesn't pay off for Joe, though, he has done what he needed to do, which was maximise the points from a lowly grid slot.
Last lap then for Sam Johns to close out a victory here. Joe Fowler, you know, this is a very mature driver as well. Other drivers would be sending it and binning people off in this kind of situation, but he knows this third place, if it is just going to be third place, is still very important points as other drivers fighting around here. The number 22 and the 32 fighting over that position. Fowler looking to the outside will give the driver space, but Sam Johns is going to take another victory here for Trinity A. This has been a brilliant race here at Clay Pigeon. Out of the final corner. Here comes the number 12. Another win for the Swansea-based team. Sam Johns takes it ahead of Newcastle A's Ollie Underwood, who's been brilliant today. Third place for Coventry A. And Joe Fowler from the lower reaches of the grid. Sam Cobb and Cambridge A finished 4th. UWE A finished 5th. With the curious situation of we saw a black flag for them, but didn't come in, but we didn't see any repeat showings of it. Nottingham A 6th, Loughborough B 7th, Bath A 8th, Brooks A 9th, Trinity B 10th. Great race for them as a squad. 11th for Southampton A, 12th for Warwick A, 13th Brooks B, 14th Swansea A, 15th Huddersfield A. Then it was Brooks C, Leeds A, De Montfort B, Newcastle B and Cambridge B wrapping out the top 20. Loughborough A 21st, their day really is done, unfortunately. 22nd for Exeter B, Brighton B 23rd, Birmingham B 24th, Brighton A 25th, Leeds B, Bournemouth A, Trent C, Manchester A and Warwick B down to 30th. Then it was Bath B, Trent B and Loughborough C.
I'm not sure that's the kind of result Leeds A need if they're going to really take the fight in Clubmans, but this was the race where their rivals in that class, Birmingham A, weren't competing. Anyway, it's a great win there for Sam Johns of UWTSD A. Let's head down to Jacob.
Down here in the pit, Sam Johns can't quite believe his luck. After telling me he doesn't really like clay pigeon that much this morning, he's now won 2 races. He says, I do now. Get your number plate and transponder and come and have a chat again. Well, well, well. How about this?
I don't really know what to say, to be honest with you.
You must be pretty good around here.
I must like it in these. I honestly don't know. Before today, I did not like this track, but now I really do.
It's a combination of the fantastic karts, the cold weather, and me being here, I'd imagine, that really sets this place up for you.
I think looking over at the pit lane and seeing your eyes staring at me as I go by just gave me the motivation, I think. But yeah, these karts are very good around here.
I get that from quite a few drivers actually, and you will have to go on the scales after this, so strictly speaking I shouldn't do this, but I got you a little present for winning. It's a finger of fun. Before I give this to you, how much have you enjoyed BUKC this year?
It's been very good. Apart from the wait for this round, it's been very, very good.
Let's try that again. How much have you enjoyed BUKC this year?
It's the best championship in the world. So,
congratulations on winning. Here's your finger of fudge. Well done, Sam.
Thank you very much.
Sam Johns there explaining that the confirmation really that this is the best championship in the world. Drivers are going on the scales for this one. That was a lightweight race. They need to weigh at least 75 kilos. If Sam is, within a couple of grams, then I might have to have a word with the stewards, having given him that finger of fudge to get the weight up a bit more. But I don't think it'll have that much of a difference. Overall, I certainly hope not, because I've been eating them all morning and I'm racing on Sunday. Let's go and mingle with the queue. Sam Cobb is here. Is it Sam Cobb, though? Andrew and Howard seem to have a bit of confusion. It is Sam. Sam. Not a double race win for you today, then?
What?
No double race win for you today?
None today. That was a tough race.
What happened? Tell me.
Kart was cold off the start and it was a bit sluggish, and then it just wasn't fast enough. There were loads of quick people in that. Because Maddie Graham won earlier. Joe Fowler was in there. It was just a tough race.
Yeah. And for yourself, are you happy with where you ended up?
Not unhappy, but not particularly happy either. I mean, it was fine. It's all about drivers next, I guess.
All right, well, as I think you said you're racing on Sunday, aren't you? So all the best for that.
Yeah, thanks.
Sam Cobb there. Let's move a bit further back and try and find someone we haven't spoken to. We haven't spoken to Max Reed at all. Max, Loughborough B. You are in B team this weekend, aren't you?
Team this weekend.
How's it going?
Pretty poor morning for the team, but first race here was pretty good. I don't know where I got up to, but I started 28th and was passing a lot of karts and felt quick, so hopefully we can have a better afternoon.
That's just you all over, isn't it? Passing loads of karts and feeling quick?
Not always.
Well, you get on yourself on the scales and hopefully you weigh in normally. Nathan Little we spoke to before the race. How did it go, Nathan?
Terribly. I was driving all right. JV decided he didn't like me.
Yeah, I don't. None of us do really on the team.
Pass, which I'm not particularly sure what I was doing. I think he gave it to me for bump drafting people, which I don't really see anything wrong with. But I mean, I do race directing part-time. I know marshaling's hard, so it's one of those really, a bit annoying, but...
At least you understand. Well, let's hopefully you weigh in correctly, otherwise you really will be in JB's bad boots. Yeah. Okay, and let's jump in with Aaron Leishman of Nottingham. Aaron, how did your race go?
Pretty bad, to be honest.
This isn't going well. Everyone I ask has just said, nah, don't talk to me. Let's hope you weigh in all right.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, I'm not going to ask anyone else because they're just too negative. I'd ask Matthew Graham, but obviously he didn't match his win from earlier, so he's going to be negative. And Will Stacey from Leeds. Will, how did your race go?
I don't know. I didn't seem very quick that time. I don't know what went wrong. I think we had a decent start. I've got a few places up.
Everyone just disappointed with that race, apparently, other than Sam Johns, obviously, who really liked it. Everyone, I believe, has made the weight. There's Will Stacey just jumping off the grid. Matthew Graham. Matt, what happened? Why didn't you win again?
No, not up to usual standard, that one. Don't know, I had a bit of a scrap with the back marker. Not sure what happened there, to be honest. It just happens, doesn't it? But no, not up to normal standard, and definitely come back with a better race next time. I'm not sure where I finished, to be honest. But...
Don't let me down again, all right?
Okay, I'll try not to. I'll do it just for you.
No, don't let me down again.
Okay, I got you.
Matthew Graham there of University of the West of England, based in Bristol. Right then, next race will be the intermediate weight, I believe. And who's this lining up on pole position here? The number 36. We'll have a chat with this man. I can't quite recognise who it is in the kind of plainish helmet, but we'll see. Who have we got here?
Ryan Edwards.
Ryan of Swansea, of course. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Bit of
Swansea's day.
First race, but we won't talk about that one.
Can you tell us what's happened over there? If we just pan the camera around to, you can see in the background the outline of an awning, which I believe used to be the Swansea University base for the weekend. Is that yours?
It is not ours. Can confirm, not ours.
Okay, so the Swansea awning's still up and running?
Yes, it's not. We haven't actually got an awning this weekend. Could be UWTSD.
Maybe it was I can't. I could have sworn it was you guys, but blame it on UWTSD. Well, I've just missed the opportunity to ask Sam Johns about that. Anyway, back to the racing. How are you getting on?
As a team, pretty bad. As a driver, pretty bad. Not too good so far. Yeah, a lot of lost fitness over lockdown isn't helping, I think.
What did you do over lockdown?
Drunk stutter. Yeah.
Watch Tiger King, make some banana bread.
Yeah, basically. So, yeah, but we'll see what we can. I mean, pole now, enters category. I'm a bit overweight, but we'll see what we can do.
Couldn't get yourself in a heavyweight?
Well, we had one stop for heavyweight and one stop for inters. We've got two heavy drivers, so we split it between us basically. So it's my turn to experience the inters grid, well, interweight grid.
Middleweight, I like to call it.
Middleweight, that's a better one.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I should have told that to Will before he sent the email out, really. But no, I mean...
inters, you think, oh, you're on Saturday, are you? No, we're in mains. We're in mains, just in the inters weight.
Well, all the best for your middleweight race.
Yeah.
I'm going to go speak to the man behind you.
Much,
Ryan Edwards there of Swansea University. Camille from Exeter lines up for Exeter B. I think this is in third place. Camille, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Had a good day so far. It's really nice to get back racing, to be honest.
Yeah, well, what have you been up to during lockdown?
Sim racing, a lot of exams. Went to Poland for a bit for my cousin's wedding. But yeah, I'm back and better than ever.
Well, what's lockdown like in Poland? You said you went to a wedding. We don't really have those over here during lockdown.
It was just very good lockdown rules. They got it straight away, 30 cases, and then it just made it really easy to get through. But yeah, just really good to go back there. Got a lot of training in on a lot of good tracks. It's proving difficult, to be honest, with these karts. It's a lot different than I remember, but yeah, well, it takes time. I can't wait for the season, honestly.
Hopefully it won't take you that long to pick it back up, and you'll do all right from third on the grid. Have a good race, Camille. Okay, let's head further back to see if we can find one of our championship contenders, and we can. I've seen up here on the left, I believe this is Matthew Taylor. It is Matthew Taylor. Matt, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
Not too bad at all. Yourselves and Coventry are the two left in the running for this championship. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it's exciting. Should be a good one. Coventry are doing well so far. We didn't have a bad first race, so
hopefully I can come through, get top 3, possibly win it, and then we'll go from there.
And am I right in thinking you're our current super final champion?
That is true, yes.
Are you back on Sunday to defend your crown?
I am indeed.
Are you looking forward to that?
I am looking forward to it, yes.
You in good form? How'd you get on this morning?
Went from 28th to 3rd, nearly won it, so not too bad. So yeah.
Here you are then, Matthew Taylor, the man to watch out for, not only in this race, but this weekend. Our current super final champion, aiming to become the BUKC Teams champion with Oxford Brooks A and the number 7 cart. He's setting off now, race number 3. This is our intermediates race, or the middleweight category as I like to call it. Andrew and Howard, back to you guys in the comms box.
Thanks, Jacob. Here's your grid for what may be the last ever intersweight BUKC sprint race ever. Who knows? Ryan Edwards will start this one from pole for Swansea A, Andrew Wong of Nottingham Trent A alongside. It's going to be Kamil Chizewski for X to B, and Sheffield A's Jake Dodd on row 2. Row 3 is going to be Benjamin Watkin for Loughborough B, and Leeds B's Edward Vernon Stroud. Dominic Cousins had a good race earlier on for Cambridge B. He'll be looking to recreate that. Jack Fisher for Leeds A needs some good points for Clubman's from 8th. Row 5 is Huddersfield A's. Well, it says Aaron Walsh. It's not. It's a James Johnston. Edward McDade for Nottingham Trent B. Then it's UWTSD A's Ryan Davies. Manchester A's Michael Grieve. Oxford Brooks A Matthew Taylor. Ethan Jones for Oxford Brooks D. Row 8 is Imperial A's Tom Newnham. Dennis Danilov for Bournemouth A. We're going to go uni-only folks here, I'm afraid. Brooks C. An extra A, row 9. Row 10 is Warwick A and Loughborough A. Row 11, Nottingham Trent C and Bath A. Then it's De Montfort A and Birmingham B on 12. 13 is UEA and Newcastle A. Nottingham A and Bath B make up row 14. 15 is UWTSD B and Birmingham A. Brighton B and Birmingham C are on row 16. And row 17 is Newcastle B and Hertfordshire A.
Looks like we're good for a start then here. Race 3.
We better be after I did that.
Yeah, we are good for a start here. Race 3 out of 5. Round 8 of the BUKC 2020. This is going to be a key one for a number of teams. Away we go then. Can Edwards get the whole shot down into Billy's blind? It's been a great start from grid 4 there, the outside row of the grid, and there's a bit of bumping and barging up. No, they've not all made it through. This one spinner towards the back of the field, but it's the number 17 that's come through straight away. There's
spinner on S's as well.
On the approach to the S's, but it's been a very, very good start, Howard. For the number 17 of Nottingham Trent A.
Yeah, Andrew Wong with a great start there from second on the grid, straight to the lead of this one. We'll be looking for who the spinners are as they come round. Black flag for Nottingham A, Andrew. That's uncharacteristic for them. That is for advantage by contact takeout, unsurprising.
Yeah, that'll be them down in the first couple of corners. They started 27th, which is roundabout where things started to break down. Over start finish we go then at the end of lap number 1 here in race 3. It is Trent A from Leeds B as there's a big out the window as I think someone's been sent to the realm. Manchester A 3rd, Swansea A 4th, X to B 5th, and Sheffield A in 6th. Great start for Exeter though, up 10 positions up to P7. They're on the move.
I think your 2 carts implicated in UEA and Birmingham B has a broken exhaust. I was just about to say I could hear it as they came past the first time. There is a meatball flag going out for somebody out there. UEA and Birmingham B are your 2 carts that had spins on the first lap. Yeah, it's a really bad exhaust. I could hear it.
Sounding a little bit like a microlight at the moment.
Yes.
Instead of a Club 100 Rotax Evo powered carts. Lots of squabbling going on the outskirts of the top 10. And I can see Oxford Brooks A are on the move as well. So it's Trent A from Manchester A, Leeds B, Exeter A up to 4th now. Great work in the number 5. Where are Brooks A? They've gained 6 positions on that last lap. And there's been an incident there at Billy's blind. It's number 74. Down in the barrier, driver looks okay. 74, of course, is Trent B, who were fighting at the time with Exeter B and Leeds A.
I wonder if they've got a broken exhaust, Andrew, because that time the field sounded fine.
We'll see in a few moments' time if someone comes in to get some repairs done. But there goes Wong, over start finish. We're looking at the rest of the field filing through. There's Matthew Taylor. That's the key driver I'm keeping an eye on here.
Black flag for Leeds, Andrew.
Yeah, that'll be for the incident with the 74. Let's have a look at this again. Yeah, 34 down the inside. Jack Fisher gets a little bit wide. Yeah, takes out the guy in red. And then the number 74 actually just had nowhere to go.
So that's
joined the incident.
Yeah, that's Chizewski in the X to B car, who was the driver in red there. That's Yeah, an interesting one there, isn't it? But a black flag for Leeds, and that's going to be costly for them. Birmingham A are in this race, currently running in 22nd. It is Sam Rowling for them in this one.
James Mills on the move, sorry Howard, past Edwards there. So that's 8th place now for Loughborough A, trying to keep themselves in the top 3 ranked teams in this series. They stole the number 2 plate, of course, off Oxford Brooks last season with a stellar last round of the year. Format different, though, here in round 8. That was an endurance format with the 2-driver 1-hour races. This is Sprint Giro style, 1 driver, 25 minutes. And I think Butcher's on the move as well there, one of the Brooks drivers fighting through. I think that was a move on Trent C for 10th place.
Andrew Wong leads then, as there's a spinner there at the hairpin.
That's a very long way.
I think that's Hertfordshire A. Andrew Wong leads for Trent A. Michael Grebe for Manchester A in 2nd. And Leeds B, Andrew, currently in 3rd, with Edward Vernon Stroud at the wheel. Good drive so far. Still a way to go, though. Exeter A are in 4th place. That's Josh Kraft at the wheel of that.
News, Howard, number 55 in the last race. We noted that they didn't take a black flag. Yui in that race didn't take their black flag, so they're being awarded, I'm not sure awarded's the right word, given a 1-lap deduction. So Yui did receive a black flag, didn't pay attention to it, so that's their results from that last race. Gone as somebody is off down at Billy's Blind in an interesting area. That's number 21, it's Leeds B. Oh, Leeds B from 4th place are out of the race in terms of contention for good scores. Was that as a result of an incident? Oh, someone's been fighting around there. It's the number 9.
Isn't that one of the Brooks cars, the 9? No, it's Nottingham A. It's Timothy Pickford, who I think has already had a black flag this race. It's not been a good one for Nottingham. No. So I think he might be off.
Change for the lead. Manchester have hopped up to take over from Nottingham Trent A.
2 versus the 16. Sorry, Andrew. Coming down the main straight there. Loughborough A versus De Montfort A. Very close side by side.
Also a black flag for the number 11 of Brooks C. I wonder, were they the causes of the spin for Nottingham's number 9?
They were in the right part of the circuit.
Let's have a look at it again. This was down into the hairpin. You're looking out for the 11 there, just behind the number 2, and it's going to cream into the side of the number 9, presumably. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's Stonewall.
and you can see.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Brad Butcher. He put his hand up there, but yeah, I think he knew he was in the wrong there.
Yeah.
So, what's happened to Nottingham Trent? Their pace has fallen through the floor, if they don't mind me saying, because they've now dropped to 3rd place. They've dropped 2 seconds off the last couple of laps. Contact warning for the number 21 of Leeds B. Leeds A, meanwhile, they have served their black flag. They have now re-emerged out in the circuit. But yeah, they had a really strong start, didn't they? But they're fading quite quickly.
Yep, Exeter A chasing the lead here. In fact, this is, isn't it, the lead battle. The 26, Michael Grebe at the wheel for Manchester A, and then it's Josh Kraft at the wheel of the Exeter A kart effort. Exeter, no, they can't win the Prems anymore, but they can definitely finish on the podium and bring to a close an extremely impressive season from the Exeter squad. The only team coming into today's championship battle is this is the opportunity in the horseshoe. Oh, beautifully done if he can hang on to it.
Nice.
Lovely stuff. Beautiful stuff. A driver who really knows his craft, Tish.
I'm so glad that there's a wall between the two of us right now. Just disappointed. Change the lead.
Walls don't stop disappointment. I can
feel it through it.
Feel it from here.
Co-penalty for the number 21, which is Leeds B. So their race really has gone off the boil now.
You say that, they're still circulating in 12th.
Yeah.
So they'll get something decent-ish out of this.
The cone penalty will benefit Birmingham A, who are being nicely backed up at the moment by Birmingham C, who, remember, are ineligible throughout the course of the day.
And that's the key one for me, mate. Birmingham A there, in that mid-pack there. Leeds A out of this one.
Yeah, because they've had the black flag, haven't they?
They've had a black flag. So was this the moment that the clubmans came home to roost? Not sure. But it's a big moment. It's going to be another big haul of points. Birmingham, the momentum they've brought into today, Andrew, very impressive. An overall podium this morning in round 7, and they seem to have carried that forward into this round this afternoon.
Looks like it's Benjamin Boris driving for them at the moment. He's doing a perfect job because he's pushing Sam Rowling along. That's all he needs to do in this race.
Sorry, Boris for Birmingham C.
Yeah, going by helmet and suit combination.
Here is Matthew Taylor in that Brooks A car, currently running in 4th place, just ahead of... Oh, no, he's got by Trent A. There's a change of position there, isn't there? Yep, he's got by...
As I say, the Trent A kart, the Trent A driver,
Andrew
Wong, on the pace at the moment, is now being overtaken, almost, by teammate Sam Pooley, who surely is ineligible in this race because we've seen him out in a higher ranked kart already in this round.
So here's the thing, Andrew. In the last race, we saw a fantastic run from Coventry to take an all-important win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, good points.
Good points. Yes. This is Matthew Taylor's time to do the same for Brooks. This is where Brooks need to get that momentum if they are going to take this championship. He is just off the back of Michael Grebe. Oh, he's got by Michael Grebe. He's done it. There it is, confirmed on your timing tower. Slightly further up the road from these two. So the gap is 1.8 between Exeter A's Josh Kraft. We'll see on the next shot, I reckon. Yep, there just ahead is Matt Taylor. He's turning into the corner now. Here is a battle between the Nottingham Trent squads over 4th place.
So Pooley past Wong there. Hello to those of you in the comments. Keep your comments coming in. Hello to Kieran Fitzgerald. Afternoon, Andy. I hope this doesn't go full Spa. I hope that, yes, similar. I hope for JV's sake and the mechanics' sake that it doesn't go full Spa today. If you're not aware what that means,
I hope for the laws of physics it doesn't go full Spa.
We've got a little competition, an iRacing competition that we started during lockdown. Former Loughborough driver Steve Hicks started it all. We said, do you want it streamed? We'll do some stuff. We'll have a bit of fun with it, and it has been a lot of fun. But yeah, we had a bit of a dramatic race on Wednesday night, round Spa in the MX-5s, and our drivers, a mix of both past and present Club 100 and BUKC drivers, decided, you know what, we want to recreate the first start incident from the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix, and that's what we mean by saying it went full Spa, and it was quite dramatic. So if you are a driver, as I said, there's been a couple of people who said, oh yeah, I've been doing some sim racing. If you're a driver in the BUKC, both past and present, and you're on iRacing, and you're on Facebook as well, C100 iRacing, head over there. We've got a couple more rounds to go still in this year, and it's been good fun. We've got some of our drivers from the Inters Championship tomorrow have been doing very well in it. For example, Josh Ladd, who drives for Cardiff.
The gap looks to me like it may have come down slightly this lap, or Josh Kraft's pace is very good. Yeah, it's come down ever so slightly, the lead gap at the moment. This is Trent C, who have now got by Manchester A, so there's a change there for 3rd. Michael Grebe is now in 4th for the number 26 Manchester crew, although he still has the same points because we believe that Trent C kart is ineligible for points with Sam Pooley at the wheel. Ahead of them, though, on the road, just saw it at the bottom of your shot, is Matt Taylor trying to work his way through traffic, going through Button Corner now. So, coming on to the start-finish straight now, the number 5 of Exeter A is leading. What's the gap this time to Brooks A? It's gone out again. So, Josh Kraft doing everything he needs to do at the moment. The 103, 3rd placed Nottingham Trent C. And to be fair, we're right to be looking a bit here because they are closing in on Brooks A. There is Matthew Taylor. You could just see him ahead with his Union flag helmet. .5 minutes left of this one. There is Brooks A. There is Matthew Taylor in the number 7. this the battle that's forming up here for second place. Loughborough have just got past De Montfort for 8th, by the way, so James Mills working his way up the field at the moment. Through the S's they go onto this back straight, ducking the head there. That's known as shrimping in karting, trying to get any aerodynamic advantage. Just a word of caution from someone who's mucked it up, does also lose you forward vision. Very important that you do it only on a straight and not on a straight that has, I don't know, a kink in it, such that you end up driving onto the grass.
When did you do that?
It was about, that was a while back now, mate. Actually, it was about 2014 at GYG. We just got to the end of the first straight and went, oh yeah, it kinks up this hill.
Ooh. Oh, that's an interesting place to do that.
No, it's a stupid place to do that, mate.
Anyway, 11.5 minutes to go.
Penalty
for Nottingham A.
It's not been their race, has it? Not been their race. That's for track limits, so that's going to be 2 positions docked. But they've already had, if memory serves correctly, a black flag and a spin in this one. Otherwise, though, it's been another good, consistent season for Nottingham A.
You've never told me that story before.
Okay, well, it's a bit embarrassing. Shrimping and forgetting to look up for the corner is a bit embarrassing.
Let this man race in my endurance team.
Pooley down the inside of Matthew Taylor. This is the move. It doesn't count for points, but Matthew Taylor doesn't necessarily know that it doesn't count for points.
Down into the hairpin they go. This is still looking very, very good at the moment for Oxford Brookes A. Exeter A, I'm at a bit of a loss with Exeter now because, you know, they've been put out of it by the incredible morning that Oxford Brookes A had. But
yes.
How do you think they'll be feeling at this precise moment? Because I think they've still raced really, really well today. They've probably had their best day so far. I'm thinking back to like Three Sisters last year. You know that period of the last season as someone's gone off down at Billy's Blind? When they had an amazing day at Buckmore Park and then a really good day at Three Sisters, and we were like, oh my goodness, they might be winning the title this year, and then it didn't quite pan out for them. But how do you think they'll be feeling with the performance so far today in terms of being at the top of the game but not in the championship fight anymore, but being so close to it?
Well, and just before I answer that question, Hertfordshire A penalty for spinning on the yellows was the stationary cart we just saw down at Billy's Blind. I don't know, mate. They've had a cracking season. But I always wonder how it feels. Assuming that they know that they're out of it championship-wise, right? Potentially no one's told them or worked it out, but assuming that they know, I always think it's difficult when you sort of know halfway through the day that you're sort of outsider for the championships, but maybe they were looking at it that way anyway and going, well, we're in 4th. I mean, they were really in it. They had a realistic chance, but I don't think they can be sad about the performance, as you say. It's been a great performance that they've put in. It's just a case of enjoying it. And if all goes well, they could be starting next season with, well, they'll be starting it with a lower number than they've got on the card right now, so fair play. And I think with the consistency that teams have the ability to have going into next season, that Exeter team could be really strong. That could be a real force to be reckoned with. Next season will be in what, to my mind, is sort of their 3rd season of being really near the top, able to mount a challenge. They'll have been there before, and I think they're going to be a real team to watch into 2021. I'll tell you that now.
Fully agree. 8.5 minutes of this one to go.
Nottingham Trent A past Manchester A now. Michael Grebe trying to keep with it. Still in the top 5. Good drive for him. As we're looking at our lead battle here. And oh, Pooley's going to go for it. There we go. Change of lead. Sam Pooley past Josh Kraft. It doesn't count in terms of points, so Josh Kraft would still be scored as the winner. What you don't want to do is not know that, try and get the position back and bump each other off. That's what you don't want to have. Penalty for Sheffield A. Trap limits. Mate, I'm not expecting you to have the maths right here, right now, but one thing that we haven't talked about at all this round so far is promotion and relegation. It strikes me Sheffield aren't having the best outing out there and could risk dropping out of the top 4 of Clubmans to get that promotion.
Let me work on that one, and I'll get back to you as I nearly take out the Motorsports UK approved screen with my cable. Carry on.
But yes, that is an important thing to note. Whoever finishes in the bottom 4 positions of Prems will be relegated down to Clubman's next season. Whoever finishes in the top 4 in Clubman's will be promoted, and whoever finishes in the bottom 4 in Clubman's will be in the Inters. And then tomorrow for the Inters Championship final round there, whoever finishes in the top 4 of that will get promoted. That's the system that's being introduced to deal with the fact that we don't have a qualifiers going into next season. The BUKC using the opportunity, the disruption, to try something new.
I'm going to make this easy for you in terms of the Prem's relegation.
Yeah.
Manchester Metropolitan. Actually, no. Do you know? I'm going to take the opportunity to give a shout out because there's been a number of teams who've not been able to make it today, not through their own fault. And I'm going to list through them here. This is going to be in alphabetical order. Aston A. Haven't been able to make it. Coventry B and Coventry D. As I say, it looked earlier in the week as if we weren't going to have any Coventry teams at all. Yeah. So we shouldn't forget the B and D team that haven't been able to make it today. Huddersfield B haven't been able to make it. Kingston haven't been able to make it. Loughborough D, Manchester Metropolitan, they've not been able to make it. Oxford as well, and Warwick C and York A. So I'm sure we've got some of those guys from those teams watching. We do miss you guys. We do hope we see you back very, very soon.
Yeah, we salute you all. And for various reasons that could be, we've spoken about the fact that some people will have graduated, and even though they're perfectly entitled to race, they may have started jobs or moved or whatever. It could just be restrictions due to the current circumstances we find ourselves in. So best wishes to all those who couldn't be here today. Still great that we have the 49 entries that we do.
But as I say, to make things nice and easy for you, mate, 2 of those teams that I've just mentioned are currently occupying a couple of the spots from relegation from Prem to Clubman, those being Aston and Manchester Met. Loughborough C and Bath B are the other 2 currently holding those positions. At the end of round 7, we were still looking at Birmingham A and Leeds A. Well, we know that they are promoted, in effect. They've just got to sort out who wins the Clubman title. Sheffield A is still there in 3rd, UEA were 4th, and then Brooks D were 5th, and it's kind of 2 out of those 3, I think. And then kind of a similar story at the bottom of the order in terms of who's going to get relegated out of the division and back into the Inters, who are of course racing tomorrow. There are a number of teams, I'm thinking like the likes of London South Bank, York, who haven't been able to be here for previous rounds of the championship and are also not here today, so they are pretty much as good as relegated down into the Inters.
Incident coming out of the horseshoe, Andrew. We went 4 abreast, and your mate Colin the Cone is looking like a crumpled crisp packet.
Big
driver
down at Billy's. Who is that? Can't quite make out the driver at the moment.
It's a Clubman's.
My eyes testing as well. It might be the number 19.
That would be Brooks D. If it is,
that is a big one because they were in 7th place.
Yeah, that's Ethan Jones then, if it is, in that Brooks D kart.
It is the number 19, and he cannot believe it because that is a big result thrown away. We were just talking about the situation at the top end of Clubman in this season, that it was going to be 3 from 2. Well, there's one of you 3, and they're the ones who need to be... I've just seen something that breaks my heart.
Is it Cone?
Colin's just been kicked. It's bad enough the carts and the students are hitting him, and the marshals just kicked.
You cannot get pressures.
Colin in the head.
The things we see that happen to Cones in this series, and you're getting pressures about it being kicked. That's one of the lightest impacts it's had all day.
Justice for the Collins.
Do you know what, though? It's that cone that's on the... Do you know how we were talking about the horseshoe inside curve where it really dips down?
Yeah.
Someone put a cart through that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. JV no likey for his chains.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it either. Chain and sprocket.
Track limit warning for Leeds B, number 21. 3 minutes to go, and there's some Oxford Brooks organisations going on there, with Matty Taylor just going past Brad Butcher.
Birmingham A in 12th, mate. This is really looking like a tidy campaign, isn't it, in their pursuit of the Clubmans. Sam Rolling there, the blue helmet, black suit that we just saw. This is Matthew Taylor. This is the other story in terms of championship terms. He is in 2nd place. In fact, did we cover him getting by Josh Kraft? No, because he's passed Josh Kraft. up into second, which means he's going to be he's done what he needed to do. He's going to be scored as the winner because our current leader is not eligible for points. And that is big. He has done what Sam Spinale did for Coventry, effectively. He's got as high as he can get with a possible penalty for the leader ahead of you. So that man there has given BUKC their momentum. How is this going to shape up after this race in the remaining 2 races of the British Universities Karting Championship mains, as there's another penalty for Nottingham A. Various teams, everyone will have come into today just having one eye on that championship table going, who are we battling coming into today? They'll just, for some people it'll be a mid-table thing. It'll be the difference between whether you have the 19 or the 20 on your cart next year. But as there's a penalty for Sheffield A, for some people this will be crucial. ABC bump and pass, so 4 positions to be docked for Sheffield A. Mate, apologies, who were the 3 teams who you said were vying? You said there were 3 teams.
Sheffield A, UEA, Brooks D.
Okay, I'd say Brooks D is having the best time of it so far. UEA, of course, with that penalty for not serving a black flag. How costly will that prove in their attempts to get promoted? Less than a minute on the clock, though. Sam Pooley leads this one for Nottingham Trent C, but we understand him to be points ineligible because he's doing double duties for Nottingham Trent, and he will want to be points eligible on the race where he's in the A cart, not the C cart. And that means that your net race leader is the number 7 there of Matthew Taylor. Battle going on ahead of him between Warwick A in the number 10 and I think they're putting a lap on somebody.
Yep, they're putting a lap on Warwick A there.
No, sorry. Warwick A themselves are... The Sheffield A are 2 laps down, I think.
Yeah. We're on the last lap, though. This has been a great drive from Matthew Taylor, who I don't think gets the full credit sometimes, and that sounds bizarre considering that he won the Super Final last year. But there's been some great form that he's had for a number of years now. And how big a result could this be? Is this Oxford BUKC with one hand on the title? They take the full 60 points in race 3. Sam Pooley takes it on the road, but is ineligible. X to A take a great 59 points through into race 4 and race 5. Then it was Nottingham Trent A, Manchester A, Cambridge B, Loughborough A to Montfort A, Loughborough B. Good squad drive there. And Newcastle B wrapping out the top 10. Leeds B finish 11th. Big result for Birmingham A and Clubman 12th. Brilliantly supported by Birmingham C there in 13th. Bath A going to be the last cart over the line there in 14th and on the lead lap. And then it was Trinity A, Brooks C, Warwick A, UE A, Trent B and Trinity B wrapping out the top 20, all a lap down. Brooks D, Hudders A, Swansea A, Bryson B, Birmingham B, Newcastle A, Bath B, Bournemouth A, sorry, X to B and Sheffield A, that's your top 30. Then Leeds A, Imperial A, Hertfordshire A and Nottingham A, 34th.
Thank you,
race 3.
Andrew. That was indeed race 3. Next race sees Coventry with one of their best grid positions of the round and Brooks A with their worst. This one could be interesting. Let's head down to Jacob.
Down here in the pits we have our race winner, whose name is alluded to, Sam Pooley, of course. Sam, how'd you manage that?
I don't really know. I didn't know I was in the lead until sort of like 10 minutes to go. I honestly thought that all those guys I was catching were guys had to pass. So yeah, tiny bit of a shock, but I think towards the end I could sort of tell.
I think I owe you an apology now as well for earlier when I thought you didn't win race number 1 of this round, and you actually did, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I won it on track. I got a penalty for contact, which I think was maybe a bit questionable, but you know, that's my opinion, so I can't complain. But yeah, so I got Paul Clark's on this before he got a chance to interview me. So
the penalty may have been rescinded. I'm not 100% sure on this. I haven't spoken to Race Control, but on results website it is showing as a race win. Either way, I've got you a finger of fudge to congratulate you on winning. Before I give that to you, how much have you enjoyed racing in BUKC this year?
It's been better than I expected. It's definitely my first year, for one.
Let's try that again. How much have you enjoyed racing in BUKC this year?
Very much.
You've loved it, right?
Huh?
You've loved it.
I've adored it, Jacob.
So what, you deserve this finger of fudge. Congratulations on what is sort of a double race win. You're not eligible for points in this one either, are you?
Well, I think I got a penalty again.
Sam, leave now before I take that fudge back off you. Go on.
Cheers, mate.
Sam Pooley there, who plays fast and loose to the rules, obviously, and nevertheless, talented driver. Right then, we have 2 more races to go with BUKC 2020. I know, it felt like I'd never get to that point, but here we are. 2 races left, 2 heavyweight races left. Let's just pull my mask up to stop exposing myself. Let's find, shall we, some drivers who are lining up on the grid for heavyweight race number 4 of the round, number 1 of the round, number 9 of the day? I think it's number 9 of the day. Yeah. Aren't we whizzing through them fast? They are currently congregating at the back there to make sure that all the drivers from this great race have got off before they can get in the karts to maintain a good social distance. We are COVID compliant here at BUKC, and we will be all weekend. Do not hesitate to come down if you are a competitor. However, if you're a spectator, we can only allow 1 per person, and preferably if that's because they're allowing you to get to the track. News coming in this afternoon is that Swansea and Cardiff are going into lockdown, but luckily for us, that's not until 6 o'clock on Sunday. So those who are racing tomorrow in the intermediates for Cardiff and Swansea, as well as those racing in the Drivers' Championship, are all still more than welcome. Myself have come all the way from Newport, and Newport is currently under lockdown. Luckily, I'm working here, otherwise this would be not quite an essential trip, but us South Walians have made it here, and we are here in force, as seen with Sam Johns winning a race earlier on today. 2 races, actually. Here come the drivers then for the next race. We're going to have a chat with Ryan Luscombe, who we spoke to briefly before the first race. Ryan looks like going for pole position, Ryan.
I am, yeah, it's exciting. Pole position, yeah.
You lucky, lucky man. Exeter can't mathematically win the title now, but you're still in the chance for top 3.
I didn't know that was the case. Oh.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Andrew and Howard have ruled you out.
Oh, that's a bit gusting. But yeah, okay. Our second would be good, so...
I feel really bad now, Ryan.
I'm going to be going around in tears now.
Still win the race, at least.
Yeah, I can give it a go. Yeah, it's going to be a good one, actually. I think there's pretty much all the contenders, or we're not a contender anymore, but the rest of them are in the top 15, so should be quite a good race, I think.
Well, I believe in you, and you can still probably finish maybe 2nd or 3rd, which is very good. It's an improvement on last year. It'll be Exeter's best ever finish, and he would have done it without Mr. Constantinos, Mr. Karting. So, a great achievement nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be good. Next year should be even better, hopefully, because if everyone can make it to all the rounds, and we've got an A and a B team that are capable of properly going for the title. So, yeah, it's been a good year, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, hopefully P2, yeah.
Good man, all the best for the race. That is Ryan Luscombe. Let's wander back over here in the number 1 car. We haven't spoken to them much this afternoon, only really Sam has given us representation, but Rayan is here from Team Coventry. Rayan, how's it going?
Yeah, good, really good.
You believe it, congratulations are in order. I don't think the last time I spoke to you it had happened, but you've had a baby, haven't you?
Yeah, 7 months old, so literally right at the last round.
And how's everything going? How are you juggling student life with being a father?
It's difficult, don't get me wrong. Like, got a lot less time on your hands, but it's really rewarding, and it's giving you a lot of motivation. Do you know what I mean? So it's all good.
Enough motivation to win this race?
I hope so. We had a bad round earlier, so it's just for fun, really. I'm not expecting to do anything special, but we'll just enjoy it.
And just how lucky are you guys to be here right now? You had a lot of trouble in the week trying to get down, and we haven't really covered much of it, but how much effort went into getting you guys down here on the grid?
Honestly, it's been such a battle for the last week. Every single day we've been talking to the SU and having negative responses, then we'd have a glimmer of hope, and then it'd be a negative one again. And then suddenly on Wednesday night, literally a couple of days ago, we got the good news, so had to be a quick pack and get over here. But yeah, it's just happy to be here, really.
Well, we're glad to have you. I'll leave you to finish putting your lead on your carts, and have a good race.
All right, cheers, mate.
Rayan there from Coventry. This gentleman here, it says Piers, Paxton, Walsh.
Yeah, not exactly.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Just a borrowed suit, really. Keeping it interesting, as always.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old-looking one as well. I've seen Piers' gear being banded about the Brooks boys before, but this is a new one on me.
Yeah, I tried this one out in a bit of testing. It went quite well, so thought I'd carry it to racing now.
It's almost retro. I do quite like the look of it, to be honest. It doesn't really go with your gloves and helmet, but yeah, it's a very good look down.
It was worth a try. So, the other suit I was using, lockdown didn't do me too well, so it don't fit anymore. So I had to upgrade to something a little bit more spacey.
What have you been doing with lockdown?
Training.
Training what? Your mouth?
Yeah.
Your chewing muscles?
My liver.
Training your liver. I see, one of those alcoholic over lockdown type people. Well, better get in the car and work off some calories, mate.
I'll give it a go.
Dan Burgess there of Oxford Brooks, and I think that's all we've got time for on this penultimate grid walk of the season. As pointed out by Mr. Luscombe, some championship contenders in this one, not least Ryan Williams. Tom Thickpenny is there for Loughborough as well. And we just spoke to Dan Burgess of Brooks. Kyle Morby is going out behind me for Brooks as well. Should be a spicy one this, as Andrew and Howard talk us through the first heavyweights of round number 8.
Thank you, Jacob. Through the grid we go then for race number 4 of round 8 of the 2020 BUKC. Ryan Luscombe.
That's the face I make when this day ends.
Yes, absolutely. Ryan Luscombe starts this one from pole from Exeter A. That was an awkward moment for Jacob to tell them they weren't in it. But Martin Matchak will start alongside for Brighton B. Imperial A have George Warledge. And Bournemouth A have Rory Hudson on row 2. Row 3 is Pascal Pook for Southampton A and Tom Thickpenny for Loughborough A. Coventry A's Ryan Williams and Robert Dakin of Warwick B go from row 4. I'm going to switch to unis only, folks, just so we get it all in. Row 5 is Warwick A and Bath A. Row 6 is Brooks B and Birmingham C. Hertfordshire A and UWTSD B are row 7. Row 8 is Nottingham Trent A and De Montfort A. Row 9, Bath B and Sheffield A. Row 10, Brighton A and Leeds B. Row 11, Loughborough B and Nottingham Trent B. Row 12, Huddersfield A and Manchester A. Row 13, Birmingham A and Cambridge A. Row 14, Brooks A and Loughborough C. Row 15, Birmingham B and De Montfort B. Row 16, UEA and Cambridge B. And Oxford Brooks D and Exeter B make up row 17. And we are good for a go then. On your left-hand side, Ryan Luscombe for Exeter A leads Martin Matchak of Brighton B. Brighton B have had a good round, remember, so this one could be interesting here. Into the first corner. Is it going to be clean? No, there's someone off in a big way into the tyres backwards from quite far back on the grid, and there's a lot more in the S's as well. We've got 3 carts off in the S's. Is the start called good? There is the...
one of them is Daniel Burgess, I think.
One of them is Daniel Burgess, we think. I agree. So that is a big moment. There's someone off as well at the hairpin. This is a scruffy one here. It has been called good, though. I think they just got by the full start.
I think your first spin is the number 26 of Manchester A, who's only just got going again now.
Yeah.
Because it was a Prem team that was 20-something. There is another driver who's still to get going at the S's. It is the number as the
these are the carts.
18.
These are the carts that have had an issue. Brooks B, Imperial A, Leeds B, Sheffield A, Nottingham Trent B, and Manchester A have all had an issue there, as Mr. Jacob Harris is providing some important motivation here in the comms box by way of sweets. But Bournemouth A's Rory Hudson has just got to the lead of the race. He's got by Ryan Luscombe there, so change for the lead, but Ryan Luscombe's got him back. There it is. This is the battle for the lead as they come through to start a new lap. And look at Martin Matchak as well, now challenging Rory Hudson in that Bournemouth A car. This is a fantastic battle here between our top 3. Ryan Luscombe getting all sorts of crossed up into Billy's blind. That is a very tight line from Rory Hudson there in the Bournemouth A car. It's not going to pay off, though. Martin Matchak holds him off. Good driving there from the Brighton B driver. It was a very robust attack by Rory Hudson. And look out for Pascal Pook as well for Southampton A, catching onto the back of this as a result of the fighting. Again, Rory Hudson is looking racy against Martin Matchak. They're going to allow Ryan Luscombe to get away at the front at this rate. There's Dante Dillon in the Nottingham Trent A car, battling away with Bath B, I think, there, amongst others, as they come round the top part of the lap again. It's still Ryan Luscombe of Exeter A ahead of Brighton B's Martin Matchak now. Good move from him at the very start of that last lap. Rory Hudson of Bournemouth A, Southampton A's Pascal Pook, and Warwick B with a good drive. So far, who's in that Warwick B car? It's Robert Dakin at the moment, who's had a better start than Sam Stevens in the Warwick A car, albeit Sam is still in 8th, running well there. Just looking to see, Coventry A have not had a perfect start there. Ryan Williams has, he's okay actually, I'm being a bit harsh. He's in 10th. How has Kyle Morby done on the start? He's up to 21st already. As a lap is put there on Manchester A, the 26, one of the karts that was involved in a first lap incident there. As top 3 come into the S's again. Big lap for Birmingham C on that last one. They dropped down quite a few positions. So big changes from 6th downwards on that last lap. Oh, and that's round. That's round for Rory Hudson. What happened there? I don't think there was any contact. That looked like just a spin to me. Very uncharacteristic. Bournemouth, one of our new universities in the BUKC this season. It must feel like they're pretty bedded in now that we've had a championship that all told is going to have been around about 320 days in length. Pascal Pook now down the inside of Warwick B, and Robert Dakin takes that position. Good move by Pook. Up into 3rd place now. It's going to be the replay. He was getting bowled on Martin Matchak, and he just went from way too far back, did Rory Hudson, and put himself into that spin. So there's a penalty for Brighton A. Advantage by contact, bump and pass. Look at this battle here though. Who's this? This is Bath A getting involved now in the battle. He's got by Pascal Pook, has James Bumy. Now on the tail of Robert Dakin. And he's got the job done. Lovely move there by James Bumy. And behind them, I think Warwick A have just got past Pascal Pook as well. The 10 now ahead of the 13, and so too is Coventry A. So Warwick A's Sam Stevens and Ryan Williams of Coventry A now past Pascal Pook of Southampton. It's all changing quite fast here. Now Dante Dillon of Nottingham Trent A will have a look at Pook. Presumably courtesy of him dispensing UWTSD-B towards the start of the lap. That tower on the left of your screens is about to move around quite a bit, as now we have Warwick versus Warwick here. Sam Stevens against Robert Dakin. The 35 versus the 10. As Dante Dillon puts a move on Pascal Pook now. Pook must be feeling a little bit worse for wear after the last couple of laps, dropping down a fair few places. He's now, as Ryan Williams goes down the inside of the Warwick A car, that's from quite a way back. Quite a bold move on the brakes, but I think he's going to make that stick. Good progress that Ryan Williams is making up through the field. Championship rivals Brooks A currently up to 19th place, with Kyle Morby at the wheel. The lead gap, though, really close now. We need to keep an eye on the lead battle here. Exeter A versus Brighton B. Coming through the S's now, because Ryan Luscombe is under, here it is, Ryan Luscombe under serious pressure now for the lead of this race from Martin Matchak. Did a good job to fight off Rory Hudson of Bournemouth earlier, and now is challenging for the win, or for the lead I should say, at the, for the moment at least. Into Top Bend. As we said, it's a deceptive corner. It's deceptively tricky, that corner. Huddersfield A's Sam Tiernan has just picked up a penalty, so he's going to have position docked from wherever he finishes, and it's going to be 4. It's another bump and pass. There was James Bumy in the 31 Bath A kart in 3rd place at the moment. So there's the battle for the lead, and then you'll just see Bumy come into shot there at the back of shot. That's the gap from these top 2 to the 3rd place. So if you're Matchak, do you try and take the lead, or do you work together? I'm glad to see that the bad news that was given to Ryan on the grid hasn't deterred his race effort, though. He's currently doing a great job at the lead of this one.
I need to stop giving people bad news, but here comes another piece of not so good news. It's just because I'm speaking quietly. There we go, that's better. I inquired into, I was saying earlier how I can't get information with race control. That's, of course, complete rubbish because there's modern technology. I can text Mr. Willie Chew about what happened with Nottingham Trent's penalty in race 1. Remember the one that was mid-race that came up on our screens but then wasn't on the final result. It is now.
Yes.
Results 1 has been reissued. Coventry A did get the win from race 1, which could be big. At the moment, I don't think it's going to make too much difference because, you know, you've got to be honest. The Brooks teams are doing the job today so far. Yep. Coventry A are doing a good job as well, but I think it might not quite be enough for them. But yeah, just wanted to mention that the race 1 result has been checked over. The timing's been checked over. The decisions have been checked over. It was a penalty. It was a +2 position penalty for Nottingham Trent. So yes, so Coventry did take the win. Sam Spinell there in race 1.
Well, Carl Morby for Brooks A has just got up to 13th place. He just got past Jonathan Collins of Cambridge A for that position, for 13th place. Working his way up the order. Ryan Williams is doing everything he can in the Coventry A car in 5th place. A couple of tenths of a second off the back of Warwick B's Robert Dakin. We are with the lead battle for now, though. You can see how Luscombe took a slightly tighter line there through Billy's blind on the exit. I would have thought they'd usually open up the line a little bit more than that usually, but he's playing it slightly defensively. James Bumy, is he able to close in if these two are battling? Yes, although he's not closing too much at the moment. Pretty similar lap times the last time around. But, good drive so far for Bath A, a squad that had a challenging first round today. I think they're looking to close out a lot more strongly, and I think they're managing it so far. James Bumy hoping to come in like some crazy guy on this lead battle.
I knew you were going to say that at some point.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure if even he knows the reference. Anyway, I know, I'm nothing if not predictable, aren't I, Andrew? Lead battle goes through. Martin Matchak doing a great job here for Brighton B in a drive that we believe is eligible for points. So, really good stuff here. Let's remind ourselves, though, even if, you know, no matter how this goes for Coventry, it's been a delight to see them here. The team for whom it was perhaps most in doubt that they would be able to come here. Of those who are actually here, obviously. We're aware that some haven't been able to come at all, but Coventry A having to sort everything with their sports organisation, sports effort at their university. Obviously the university is trying to do their best in difficult circumstances as well, but fortunately they were able to get it all sorted out, and they have been here today to try and defend that title. It still may yet be a successful defence. We've got about 1.5 races in which we will find out. You can see Jake O'Sullivan's out there for Birmingham A. He was on shot just a moment ago.
He's just got up to 12th place.
Yeah, this is important for the Clubmans. I think, is this the race that doesn't have Leeds A in it? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, you're correct.
So this is Birmingham A's opportunity. Is it their last opportunity?
No, they're in the last race as well. However, again, Jake just needs to keep doing what he did this morning, which was keep calm, because I almost don't want to say it. I think we could be calling Clubmans after this race if Birmingham get this result.
Yeah,
because they've got a lead, they've got a gap, they don't need to go all out for it. Leeds A haven't had the afternoon that they would have wanted, and Birmingham should have 3 solid scores on the board before they even go into their final race. And it's only Leeds A who can overhaul them, of course.
I've just looked at the grid for race 5 as well, as the 2 Warwick cars battle it out, by the way. Warwick A and Warwick B battling away here. Sam Stevens in Warwick A, Robert Dakin in Warwick B, and it's going to leave them prone to attack from Exeter B here, and Exeter B indeed go through. Race number 5, mate.
they've got pole.
Leeds A start on in 19th, Birmingham A start on pole. It's going to take something special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be all but over if O'Sullivan can close this one in. There's a little bit of an interesting move there on the number 10. That was over 5th place. It's Warwick A next to B. Leeds A obviously not in this race, but they've got 3 scores done. The maximum number of points they can score is 154. That's if they win the race from 19th on the grid. If the race was to finish right now and points be awarded as such, Birmingham A would have 149 guaranteed. They would be 5 points off. So I think in the context of it, that would be as good as done.
Yeah. Either way, it's been a good season, I think, for Leeds, mate. I think they can build on this. They'll get the promotion. As there's a battle going on here, Warwick B versus Coventry A. Ryan Williams trying to get every single point that he can, and there's a bit of a pincer movement going on here as well, because Oxford... Oh, hang on, this is closed up. Kyle Morby has come out of nowhere here, Andrew.
Not the first time we've said that, of course. So this is it.
This is Coventry A versus Brooks A on track. The 2 teams who can win this championship, Ryan Williams and Kyle Morby. Andrew, I would argue 2 of the... Well, within each squad, one of their best drivers at the wheel of each effort here. Kyle Morby, though, has got the momentum. He spent the whole race coming up through the field. And Dakin having a great race for Warwick B as Kyle Morby's going to try and tuck under here into the S's, and that's the job done. That's Brooks A past Ryan Williams. And Brooks A overtake Coventry, and he's going to go immediately down the inside of the Warwick B card as well and get that job done as well. There you go. Kyle Morby past his championship rivals and also puts a car in between the 2 of them. Just for good measure, that was very, very well done. And you can't help but wonder that despite how good as the Coventry go for shoot the gap into top bend, it's going to slow them down slightly, both of them on the main straight. You can see Birmingham A in the background as well, looking to capitalise on their points to try and seal the deal in Clubman's. But yeah, it's moments like that today. Coventry have done a fantastic job. I mean, we were singing the praises of the drives like what Joe Fowler put in, you know, and all that sort of stuff. An amazing season for the Coventry team. For certainly the first, what do we want to say, half, 2/3 of the championship, one of the most impressive runs that we have seen in the BUKC. Yeah. It cannot be denied. Coventry have had a cracking season, but Brooks are on it today. They are absolutely on it, and you can't help but wonder if moments like that just then between Kyle Morby and Ryan Williams is the kind of moment that's going to decide this championship in the next hour.
Birmingham A are 2 positions on circuit in this race from winning the Clubman's title. And that would be, that's Exeter B are ineligible in this race. So that effectively puts them 9th. They need 7th or higher to basically exceed Leeds' max possible score with 1 race to go.
Have we covered Birmingham B's penalty? I'm not sure if it came up with this wording.
No.
It says Birmingham B penalty. Sausage!
Hey! Stop fondling JV's sausage.
It's not allowed. It's not allowed.
That is illegal. Birmingham A have just gone up another spot. This will be quite a special moment. I know there's a big link between us in this commentary box and that team, but for the driver in that kart in particular, I would really like to see Jake be the one to close this one out, a race early. I mean, to be honest, no offence, Leeds, I know you've got a lot of talent in that field, but I don't see a win coming from 19th on the grid, especially in a last race of the season. But to have it mathematically done, that would be quite a special moment for the number 4. Let's keep focusing on this battle for the lead, though. This has got very close. Once again, Brighton B, what a day they are having. A brilliant day. And Exeter A under some real pressure now, with 8.5 minutes to go.
Someone who's struggling out there, mate. Tom Thickpenny in that Loughborough A kart.
Yeah.
I think Exeter might be springing. Oh, as Cambridge B are off. Big off there in top bend. Very early on as well in that bend. They've actually managed to go into the wall before pit entrance, which is unusual. We're back with the lead battle, though. And has that been a change? Has No, there's traffic. There's traffic at play. That's why.
And Birmingham have got the position. Birmingham have got the position that, according to our records, give them the clubman title.
And they've done it by passing Coventry A. There is Jake O'Sullivan. They've done it by passing the reigning champions. There is a very upset Dan Burgess, I think that was. But Birmingham up into 8th place. If they finish there, by our records here, it will be the Clubman's Championship for Birmingham 2020. And wouldn't that be some way to finish a season in which, Andrew, we've talked so much about how, you know, it's been difficult for Birmingham, they're not where they were in the last couple of seasons. Well, hey, how's this? How is this for a way to sign off and for a way
penalty for Oxford Brooks B. Sorry, Howard. That one isn't going to be too big in terms of context of championships in this race, but yeah, it's for multiple pieces of contact. It's been 2 positions. Strange day for Loughborough. There they are. Tom Thickpenny about to be lapped.
Yeah,
that's something I didn't think I'd be saying today.
Did we see what befell him in this one?
No.
Really not sure what happened. Really not sure about that one.
Martin Matchak on your screen. It's another driver who I think has gone under the radar this season, but has really impressed me. Really impressed me. There's been some great days for Brighton. I remember their efforts at PFI.
Well, it might be about
to start the season.
Sorry, mate. He might be about to impress us again, because if Ryan has a problem putting a lap on Tom, Tom's not going to be off the pace unless he has a kart issue. This could be an opportunity here. Still 6 minutes to go on this one. As is he going to go through on the lap now? Tom Thickpenny's going to be. Oh, this is an awkward way to go past on a lap. Oh, that's okay.
It's nicely done actually by.
They judged that well.
X2A.
Yep, fair enough. And now Martin's got to get by as well. But yeah, it's going to be. Oh, as Tom Thickpenny unlaps himself. Now that is going to be an opportunity, surely, for Matt Jack at this rate. No, because Thickpenny's going to make him go the long way around the horseshoe.
So Tom's not going to make it easy.
No,
he's perfectly within his own rights to. No blue flags, and he's not forcing anybody off the road.
Yep.
5.5 minutes to go. Leaders go past us here at start finish.
And there is Tom letting him through. Yep, fair.
Good move. Sensible driving. I wish there was a bit more of that sometimes.
Broken
exhaust.
Very broken exhaust went by our comms box. I'm not even sure if our mics may have picked that one up. That was a bad sounding exhaust.
I think it is the number 74, because the number 74 is very slow.
Yeah,
74.
Yes. And in fact, I can visibly see an issue there. Nottingham Trent B, that is, already running well down the order. They're going to have to come into the pits, because that is one loud kart. Under 5 minutes to go. Extra A lead. Ryan Luscombe at the wheel of the number 5 kart. There's the 7 of Brooks A, just went through his shot in 6th place. We know they're going to have a lower number on that kart next year than the number 7. Had this unusual situation last season, of course, where the Brooks B team finished ahead of Brooks A, so you'll probably have spotted that Brooks B are the number 3, but Brooks A are the number 7. Well, that will change.
I mean, it's always the thing we say with the Oxford Brooks team, and obviously they say it themselves, that the A and the B team, it's almost like having 2 A teams in the context of other universities. So they do let those two battle it out amongst themselves as kind of almost title rivals. It's like we got 2 Mercedes. They don't really mind which one of the Mercedes drivers wins the title, as long as one of them does. So that's why they didn't switch, their teams around. They keep their teams very stable over the years. They don't say cherry pick all the top 4 drivers into one kart, into one team. They give themselves 2 bullets in the gun. This year, it's not been the B team's year.
Has Huddersfield A got by Coventry A at some point? Or is Birmingham
yes, they
A?
have.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
So that's more points off of Coventry, or another point off of Coventry. Can Matchak catch onto the back of Luscombe? He's just not quite in striking distance at the moment. Needs to be a little closer than that if he's going to challenge for the race win. Through top bend they go. Just clouded over a little bit here at Clay Pigeon. But still decent dry conditions. Let's not lie, we all saw that we were coming to Clay Pigeon in September and we all went, ooh,
That's
okay,
risky.
okay, I'll pack my rain suit.
And my fog lights.
And my fog lights, yes.
But they've not been needed today. Yellow flag down
It's
at
Cambridge
Billy's
B.
blind. Cambridge B are off, as you say.
It's the only race where I received... Oh no, actually, Jacob Harris would dispute this. For many a year, the only race in Club 100 racing where I'd ever got a black flag was the uber foggy conditions where I got black flagged for overtaking under yellow, and I distinctly remember going, well, I couldn't see the yellow, I couldn't see the cart I overtook, and I'm slightly surprised you could see me overtaking them, but fair play. I actually appreciated the break in that race by having the black flag, because your eyes were on stalks there. You would just start braking for an apex you hoped would turn up with no one spun out on it.
6 years ago now. That's making me
don't,
feel old.
don't say that.
90 seconds of this one to go. It's been a really good fight here between Ryan Luscombe and Marcin Matchak.
And he's in striking distance, isn't he?
He is. He's
brought it back.
Apply that pressure to the number 5. And maybe set this up for a last lap lunge. Both of these teams, well, Exeter obviously still trying to see if they can get onto the overall podium in terms of the championship this year. Brighton B haven't too much to race for apart from individual honour. They've already got a Clubman round podium this morning, finished second in Clubman in round 7. They'd love to do it again. Oxford Brookes B have just got past Bath B on the road for 11th place. Still Birmingham A in that 8th place on the road, enough to, at this stage, after this race, give them the Clubman title. The only team that can beat them in the Clubman Stakes in the season this year are Leeds, and the way this round is working, Leeds' score, or possible score, if they win the last race, will not be enough to beat Birmingham in this round, so they will at least finish equal. As down the inside, defending now, Luscombe and Matchak. Will Matchak go for a move into the horseshoe, maybe through Buttons and Top Bend? They've got some traffic to deal with, which stays out the way well. It's good driving from all, but it's going to maybe open the lane up on the inside for Matchak, but it's not going to be there. Ryan Luscombe's going to come around the final corner to win for Exeter A. A great victory from pole position, lights to flag. How about that? Brilliant result for him. Marcin Matchak second.
And we want to pick up here.
The
I
number
think
four.
The number 4 is going to come round Top Bend now. Jake O'Sullivan is going to come into your shots now and come across the line. Provisionally, we say that is the Clubman's Championship 2020 for Birmingham, and that is going to be one heck of a prize to come back to them after a season where we've spoken so much about how their form is perhaps not where it's been. That has been a fantastic way to wrap up the 2020 season, and as you said, mate, I am so happy for Jake O'Sullivan that it's he who crosses the line to provisionally, at least we say, take that title for them.
And thank you, Jake, because that means we've got to do all the Clubman stuff before the final.
Yeah, that was great. Cheers, Birmingham.
But yeah, you've got to remember that this team were one race from falling out of mains altogether, as I say, on that crazy day in Wilton Mill in November, and they've fought back and they've taken the Clubman title. In terms of the mains title, well, that's still very much up to the racing gods to decide who's going to win that one. We'll crunch the points, we'll get them updated. But for now, let's head down to Jacob Harris, who's got the driver of number 5 in the pits. Ryan Luscombe, your winner for race number 4.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Mather. I am indeed down here with Ryan Luscombe, who I feel so guilty about our pre-race chat. Ryan, can stand at a safe social distance. First of all, I'm really sorry. I feel so bad for telling you before the race that you should win the championship.
Yeah, I thought you were going to give me even more bad news then, like I got a penalty or something.
Oh yeah, your dog's died or something as well whilst you're out on track.
Yeah. I think we've done really well this round as well. So yeah, it's a massive shame that we were just out of contention. But yeah, still really happy to have got the win. It was a win, yeah?
It was indeed a win, yes. Maybe next year I'll just tell you that you can't win the championship before every race.
Yeah, that'll probably do me a favour, take the pressure off of it. But yeah, it was quite a hard race. Like I could feel taps every few laps, especially around here. So I kept thinking he was going to do something down the bottom, but luckily it never came. Luckily it never came. So yeah, quite a hairy race, but it was good to come away with the win.
Yeah, you dealt well with the pressure, and as a result of you winning, you've won yourself a finger of fudge. I'm not even going to make you beg for it because of the hardship that I put you through before the race, but you enjoy that.
Thank you, that's just what I wanted. Thank you very much.
Do you need to weigh yourself though? If you come in underweight now, it's possibly one of the worst afternoons of your life. Come and see me if you... I was going to say come and see me if you need a hug, but I can't say that, unfortunately, Ryan.
Maybe like if I take some of your jackets, just a little bit of extra weight, I don't know.
The finger of fudge is all I can do for you, I'm sorry.
Right, yeah, I'll go and hopefully it's fine.
Well, that's we'll make our way to the front of the queue and see the results. Normally I wouldn't go around handing out ballast after a race that we're weighing, but I've done it twice now, so I may as well carry on for the rest of the day. Apologies if you're watching the live stream in race control, Willie, but I've started, so I'll finish. Let's make our way over here. Luke Schillebier weighing in. Yeah, so far so good by the looks of things. No one breaching the heavyweight weight minimum, which I think is 82 kilos. Amy Jäger there of Sheffield, spoke to earlier. Number 86 jumps in. Let's speak to this. Who is this we've got here? Who have we got here? Stopping with 55. Who's this?
This is UEA.
UEA? And how are UEA doing today?
Not too badly. The round 7 was a lot better. We've not had such great results in round 8, but we got one more to go. Starting 10th, so confident.
This is a very stylish second-hand suit you got going on there. You haven't got the zip done up though.
Funny enough, it's not my suit.
No.
It's about 5 sizes too small. Hence you can see the socks and that, but I think it's a look, so.
I'd say you're working it, and you look like a Super 1 driver now as well, which is the main thing.
Well, I hope I get a free Tag Heuer watch at the end of this, but I've heard that's not on the prize, so.
I think that's how it works. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine then.
There's a guy from Tag Heuer just around the corner. If you go and see him, and yeah, see you later. Okay, I think we're just about done. Nottingham Trent. Is this Dante Dillon? He's short, I know that much. Is that Dante? Dante, come on, have a quick chat. Where have you been? I normally speak to you over the course of the day because you've won. Why haven't you won today?
I just didn't really feel like I was any faster or slower than anyone else. I think this type of track is where it really promotes consistent racing. Everyone very, very close together, so it's really hard to catch up really. But I feel like I did all right from 15th or wherever I started. So yeah.
And the question that's burning on my mind, Dante, what are you doing in a heavyweight race?
Oh well, basically, it's just how the points laid out, how the race is laid out. I wanted to put as many good drivers as possible into our C team, and that was a lot of heavy drivers, because I wanted to make sure they don't get demoted like to Inters. Oh. So I took one for the team. I've got about 33 kilograms here. So the seat is 19, and yeah, basically it's so much weight. I practically fell into the cart when I tried to get all the weight there. So quite a lot, but I had a great race, so I can't complain.
33 is, what is that? That's about 40%, isn't it?
With completely naked, I'm about 46 kg. So.
And there you have it, the lightest man to ever enter a heavyweight race in the BUKC, Dante Dillon.
That's the dedication we put in as NTU to get into the heavy race. That's the dedication right there, all that weight that we have to put in. But no, good laugh, great day, great weather. So, yeah.
Is that why you got number 46 on your helmet?
46. Well spotted. That's exactly why. Yeah.
Producer Luke on that one. Congratulations, Luke. You've made us all laugh down here in the pits. Thanks for chatting with us, Dante. All the best. You're racing Sunday, aren't you?
Oh, I am. You'll see me there.
In the lightweights this time, yeah?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Good man. All right then. Can't say Dylan there. As I said, the lightest man to ever enter a heavyweights race, possibly anywhere in the world, I'd imagine, not just in the BUKC. Right, this is it. This is the last race of BUKC 2020. We thought we'd never get to the end, and yet here we are at the end. And I'm going to start by going to the back of the grid, because I normally start at the front. Apologies to everyone at the front in this one, but I have a very, very special request from Newcastle University, and I'm hoping it's the back of the grid they told me to go to. Where am I looking? I want to say right-hand side. No, it's on the left. I've got it. I think this is the man I'm after. No, this is Callum James. Where's... You're not Newcastle. You're Brooks. Sorry, I'm looking for Newcastle. Anyone seen Newcastle around? I'm told that I haven't done an interview for the entire time this man has been at university, and yet I can't see him anywhere on the grid. Never mind. Let's go and chat with Harry Farnhill. Harry, current not super heavyweight, but current heavyweight champion. How are you getting on this weekend?
It's going all right. Yeah, not too bad. Sam's done pretty well in the A team, and the B team's doing all right as well.
Your hopes for defending your title on Sunday?
I don't know. I had a bit of luck last year in it, so there's some really quick boys here, but just have a bit of fun.
That's what we like to hear. I'm on the lookout for Adam Fleming. You haven't seen him, have you?
Huh?
You haven't seen Adam Fleming of Newcastle, have you?
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to keep going hunting for him. He said he was at the back of the grid at the last race, and here we are at the last race. And I really can't remember. No one's waving at me as if to say, hey, I'm Adam. It's going to have to go down as one that got away, I'm afraid. Never mind. Let's go and have a quick chat with Tom Fox of Coventry University. Tom, quick word. Can you win this race?
Maybe. We'll have to see.
And subsequently, can you win the championship?
It's not looking good for us, but we're just glad to be here, to be honest.
That's what we like to hear. It's the taking part that counts. If you have fun, then you won.
Well, I mean, the last few weeks we've had with the university and all the COVID rules, we'll take second, so we're happy.
Good man. All right, it's good to have you here, Tom. Let's go back to the front, see if we can find Adam, because I did promise him that we'd talk to him, and I feel like we've got about 10 seconds before they turn the engines on and get going in this one. Phil Craven's there, Scott Jeffs is there, Jake O'Sullivan, Scott Van Breda. This might be him on the left-hand side, that's Harry Jones. Adam Fleming is on the front row. Adam!
How are we doing?
I said I'd come into you. I thought you were at the back of the grid. I went all the way to the back of the grid looking for you.
I'm at the front.
I knew it was one extreme or the other. How are you doing?
It's the highest up I've ever started. I haven't started above 20th before, so...
You've never had an interview, apparently?
I've had an interview either.
That's a lie. I've spoken to you plenty.
No, that's waffle. It's pure waffle.
Me and you are practically best mates.
Yeah, we're best mates when you're drunk, but aside from that, mate, no.
You're not drinking this year, that's the problem.
To be fair, other than one good race at Buckmore and qualifiers, I've not done. Because I've always started at the back. I've never got a properly good result. So fingers crossed today. I'll get bin first corner. I'm looking at the people that are in this race as well. I've got Harry behind me though. He's rear gunner. So
that's the thing. You got to earn this kind of relationship, really, the special kind of relationship I have with most drivers. And I mean, here you are at the end of your university course, and you've done it apparently.
Well, yeah, I've still got one more year to go, mate.
Oh well, I could have just interviewed you in November then.
Could have, but that's a waste of time, isn't it?
There's no need for all that crying, was there?
Not at all, mate. Not at all.
Well, have a good race anyway. I think Jimbo's waiting to get going. That sound is the sound of the engines firing up for the very last time in BUKC 2020. This will be the last race of the day of round 8, race 5, the second heavyweights. It's been emotional. It's been freezing cold today, but most of all we've had a lot of fun. It's down to 2 teams, Oxford Brookes A and Coventry. They're both in this race. Andrew and Howard, take us through the last race of the day.
Thank you, Jacob. I'm going to spring one on the guys in the truck here. Can we just play the grid graphic, and rather than me gabble through the grid, we'll put it on screen for you so you can see it, and we'll play through the grid. But being as this is the last race of the season, And we should say Inters and Drivers' Champ are happening after today. This is our last stream round. I just want to take the opportunity to do a few things that I like to do ahead of the final race. Firstly, although it's unusual circumstances and there is this rule about carrying across into the 2021 season, for some drivers today will have been, or possibly the previous rounds will have been, their last opportunity to race in the BUKC. To all those drivers who are finishing their driving within this championship, we salute you. Thank you for being part of the BUKC family. We hope to see you back for graduate events, and we hope to see you back in the Club 100 paddock at large. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of the people who make it possible for us to go racing, particularly in these circumstances. All the people at BUKC, Willie Chu, we're indebted to for setting this all up. Jacob Harris does a lot of work behind the scenes. John Viger and all of his team at Club 100 race prepare these karts, go around the country, top job. And I'd also like to say thank you to all the guys at Alpha Live who have been able to make the coverage that we brought you possible this year, and just thank you to everyone who's made streaming it possible. It's been a delight to bring the action to all of you watching around the country and around the world.
Here we go then. Last race of the season. Oxford Brooks A have one mission: hold position, and they are champions. Away we go then for the last 25 minutes of the season. Are they all going to get through the first couple of corners clean? We haven't managed it so far today. We have! We've got through without a single kart. Off through Billy's blind. The karts you need to look out for. The number one hour.
Oh, 98, Hearts 8.
Hearts have ruined the good start. Karts that you need to look out for. Number one, obviously there's more stuff going on down at the bottom of the hairpin. But the number one, Coventry, they've just got to give it hell. They've got to give it everything. They've got to finish third or higher in the round to potentially win the championship. And that is something they can do. But as I say, they've just got to give it everything. Oxford Brooks are in a bit more of a comfortable position. If they've started P5, they've just got to keep going round, pick up decent points. They are currently guaranteed 8th place in this round. Now that would not improve their championship score. It would leave them on 410, but they're not far off being in a position where they will start improving. If they finish third or higher in this round, it doesn't matter what Coventry A have done, they will be champions, and currently they are sat in 4th. In Clubman, as we know, Birmingham A have won Clubman for 2020. In terms of this round, they lead the round as well. Other teams that could beat them but need some pretty extraordinary results to do so: Trinity B, Brighton B, Leeds A and Cambridge B. In terms of this round as well, who's doing well at the moment? Well, Exeter A currently lead the round. They've got 176 points guaranteed, still with a race to go, but they are starting, of course, from the back. We'll see how they're coming through. Trent A, Coventry A and Brooks A are your other teams that could win this round. But as we've done 2 laps, let's see what the scores on the doors are. Brooks A are up in third, as round the outside there. Newcastle A going for a move on
it's
Newcastle B.
Versus, yeah, it's Newcastle
this is
B.
good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Adam Fleming in the B kart trying to get past Harry Jones in the A kart. But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for putting up with the fact that we definitely agreed I would get my thank yous out the way to give you time to take us through the championship standings before the race started.
Unbelievable.
There's just too many people who make it possible for us to go racing, and just as they were cleaning up the tyres, I realised I missed an uber important one in the Marshalls. Thank you for the Marshall. Jake O'Sullivan's out again. He's out again, not points eligible this time.
Oh, and he's just been taken out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, fine. Well, that's the 33. That's Loughborough C who's involved in that incident. We'll see what happens there. Now, Brooks A are in third and bearing down on this little Newcastle party that's being had at the front. In fact, I can see, going for the move, we need to look a little bit further up the road here, because David Haynes is looking to take second place off of the Newcastle B kart. Not the Newcastle B kart, sorry, Newcastle A now. So there is Newcastle B, the 39 in the lead. Adam Fleming at the head of the field, change of lead confirmed. Newcastle A's Harry Jones is there in second, and he's got David Haynes. Now, sorry, mate, there was a lot of info in your package there.
Yep.
Brooks A, is it a case of if they finish ahead of the Coventry, it's over?
Yeah, as good as. I mean, in terms of the race at the moment, third would end them on 174 points and be guaranteed top 3 step in the round. Basically, it's third or higher in the round. That's what they need, irrespective of what anybody else does.
Okay, Coventry A have just, Cambridge A have just put a move on him. My driver list says it's Sam Cobb. My eyes tell me it's Sam Gerrard, which would make sense and redress the balance from earlier on. Phil Craven there in the number 16 De Montfort A kart has also just got past Brooks A. You know what? Coventry are now just 2 positions back from Brooks A. It's getting quite tight. Coventry A's Tom Fox as down the inside of Phil Craven in that De Montfort A kart goes Brooks A, trying for the move. This is it, the battle over 4th place here between Phil Craven in his extremely multicoloured suit versus David Haynes in his monotone suit of black with a white helmet. But doesn't affect his pace.
There is also the slight job of Coventry A trying to get the number 2 plate. Exeter are threatening them there.
Yep.
Exeter currently, of course, leading the round. So we'll keep an eye on that situation.
So the marshal puts the cone down as if to say, now flipping stay there this time, please.
It's not his fault. It's not Colin's fault that everybody keeps hitting him.
I have to say, just for a brief second, every time I see Adam Fleming's helmet, I keep thinking, Willie? There's Willie gone out there. There's a bit of the Willie Chew about that helmet design for me.
It was like when he drove up alongside me at PFI, it was like, oh no. Not again.
David Haynes there was able to wrestle the place back off of Phil Craven there, so it is Brooks A in 4th, ahead of De Montfort A in 5th. Coventry A, Tom Fox. Hey, I tell you what, where did he start this one? He started this one in 22nd. He's currently in 7th, as there's a penalty for Loughborough B in 8th. What's the pace like? Do you know what? Fastest lap of the race is currently with Tom Fox. Andrew, they are not going down without a fight in this one, our defending champions. You're going to see Tom Fox coming onto the back of these shots that we're seeing. We're looking at the leaders, which is currently Newcastle B, Newcastle A, then Cambridge A, Brooks A, De Montfort A. But maybe on this next long shot down the Sturmey Straight, there at the back, that is Tom Fox, just the car at the very back there. I think he's going to come into play here. It's all closing up at the front here. Adam Fleming, who has now definitely been interviewed by Jacob. We all saw it. As Cambridge A have a look for second. Cheeky move there in top bend on Newcastle A. And Sam Gerrard is up into 2nd place. And through also has gone Brooks. So David Haynes gains another position, moves himself up to 3rd place, puts another cart between himself and Coventry A. There is Tom Fox, the number 1. You just saw it flashing through the shot there. He's first got to clear Nottingham Trent C, which looks to me like it has Scott Jeffs at the wheel, as there's a penalty for Cambridge A. And that penalty is for ABC bump and pass, so that will be 4 positions docked from... Oh, and that would be why. That is Huddersfield. It is Huddersfield, is it? It's gone. Yeah. So, well, what does that mean? That means the 2nd place car is going to be docked 4 positions, so now Brooks A is effectively in 2nd place within this race.
They just need to keep going. At the moment as it stands, Coventry A are 3rd in the round. That's the smallest position, or the lowest position they could mathematically win the championship with, but that's on the basis that Oxford Brooks A have a shocker, and this ends up as a drop round, as there's off there, one of the clubman entries, I think.
Yeah.
We'll try and work out who it is in a moment, but Oxford Brooks are currently 4th in this round. If the race was to finish right now and points awarded for it, and that would be more than enough to give them the 2020 BUKC title.
Yes. The kart that spun round is Vinayak Vasudov in the De Montfort B kart. The reason why I mention that is I'm fairly certain he was a certain driver who got turned around by a James Mills at the end of round 7. Could be wrong, we've got the same race suit combination, is in the same numbered kart. That's one of the stories, one of the many stories that have been written today in the BUKC.
Just having a look at the clubman scores, those 4 teams that could mathematically at least draw level with Birmingham A for an a clubman's round win. None of them doing business at the moment. Trinity B, Brighton B, Leeds A and Cambridge B all in the 20-somethings or lower. So Birmingham A looking comfortable there. Coventry A now up to 6th place They could get second in this round. They're moving through, but there goes the number 7, Oxford Brooks, challenging now, running well in this one. They've swapped round. The number 14 has taken the lead away from Newcastle B, and Newcastle B are now under threat from Brooks A. This would only further cement their position. Brooks A at the front of the field, but nothing is done yet. We've had Brooks teams in this position before. Last time they won the title, in fact, when was the last time a Oxford Brooks A entry won the title? Oxford Brooks as a university have won it, of course, 2 years ago. Last time we were here for a finals at Clay Pigeon, but that was the B team that won that year.
Mate, it would have been 2009. 10 years.
And still...
That doesn't sound right to me, but it is true, yeah. Wow. Do you know something I've just realised we've got to look forward to in BUKC 2021, mate?
Go on.
We need to have some celebrations, Willie Chew, for 20 years of the BUKC.
Wow. So that's to say that, I mean, it already is, but the BUKC is older than some of the entrants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Down the inside, there goes a battle for second.
Yeah, so this
Doesn't
is
work out.
Adam Fleming defending against David Haynes over...
Second place.
Well, the lead of the race, mate, because Cambridge A have the bump and pass penalty.
Of course, sorry, yes, they do.
So this is for the lead. And it's done. David Haynes is through. That was a tidy move there. Mate, I think that is Brooks A moving themselves into a net victory position right there.
Net victory for position, hat-trick. It's like Wimbledon, not game, set, match, and championship, because it would be the race, the round, and the championship all in one race.
Yep.
As it stands now, the scores on the doors are Exeter 176, Brooks A 176, Trent A 174, and Coventry on 176 as well. We're on three-way tie at the top, but Brooks A would take it on the tiebreaker of having 2 victories. So we've gone from having a round where just keeping things nice and consistent will get you on the podium. We've now got a round where multiple top 3s in heats are not even going to get you there. You've got to have multiple wins to win on a tiebreaker. I've not quite known a day like this in the BUKC.
Yeah, that's saying something, because we don't have to see some action in this crazy championship we love so much. But yeah, it does sound, I'm still staggered by that stat that the last time that Oxford Brooks A won the championship was 2009. They've come close, of course, pretty much every single season. Perhaps the closest they ever came in that interim period was probably 2015, when they were in they were challenging Huddersfield for it. But that one got quite controversial. I won't go into that full story right now, but suffice it to say they did not win the championship on that occasion. But you cannot deny their ability to just every single year come back and really have a challenge. But look at this challenge. Adam Fleming is not going to take this one without a fight. He's back through with the S's. And who should be on his tail, Andrew, but Tom Fox? Here you are. You're going to get treated nonetheless to Coventry A versus Brooks A for the round win, as you say, Andrew. Can Coventry deny that game, set, match championship scenario you were talking about? Still plenty of time to go in this one. Tom Fox has done well to catch up onto this one. And here we go then. Adam, I'm not quite sure if you're aware what kind of fight you're involved in here, my friend, but this one could get tasty. Down the inside goes David Haynes into Billy's blind, but coming back is Adam Fleming's going to come back, and Tom Fox is going to swoop through cheekily. That is a beautiful move from both drivers. Adam Fleming to come back at him, Tom Fox to come back at him as well. Tom Fox will know. I think he had a quick look over the shoulder there to check the number and go, yep, that's the 7. That's the 7. And he's going to try desperately to go down the inside here. He's not interested in staying put behind Newcastle B. He wants through. He wants to try and get on up the road, because the maths might get very close here. He's going to try his absolute best. Well, remember, this is the battle for the lead, because Cambridge, it doesn't matter how far up the road they go, and they're 3.4 seconds up the road, by the way. As down the inside tries David Haynes. It's going to be Brooks A versus Coventry A, and he's going to get the job done by the S's. Don't forget, you're looking at the lead battle on the screen, effectively, your top 3, once penalty is applied to Cambridge A.
Well, this is making this situation even more interesting now, because the further Coventry A go up the order, you know, we've talked about them. If Brooks finish in terms of having a drop score, so we're talking 6th or lower in this round, Coventry A have got to finish 3rd or higher to take the championship off them. But of course, the further, if they go into 2nd, if they go into the lead of round number 8, they're making Oxford Brooks A's job even harder. They're reducing the range of risk, or the tolerance, shall we say, of errors that Oxford Brooks A could make. So this is a bit of pressure. This isn't done, folks, with 10.5 minutes of the last race of the season to go. And I can kind of understand here the tactics from from Brooks A's driver David Haynes of, no, Tom Fox, I don't want you getting up the road and gaining more points for Coventry both in the round and in the championship, and putting my number 7 cart under more pressure. I think Haynes does right. He's got to keep Fox behind for as long as possible, but I don't think he's going to be able to, because Fox got a great run out of the final corner. He's going to have the inside for Billy's blind. Is he going to get the move done? Yes, he is. Beautiful. Now, what does David Haynes do next? Does he throw it down the inside? He can't afford to make contact and get a silly penalty, of course. Well, he is going to go for it, though, and retake the position. This is fascinating racing here at Clay Pigeon with the title on the line. How do you play this if you're in either cart? These two teams that have gone each other for the last 2 years, and Fox is having a little look into top bend. Now, can he get the run? Here's where he's strong. Down past start finish and into Billy's blind. Haynes is already going defensive. Oh, careful, David. Don't want to squeeze Tom onto the grass there. As I say, they cannot afford to get a silly penalty. They just need a nice calm run home. But oh, what a move! I tip my hat to you, Tom Fox. That was brilliant. But now he's got to defend. He's got to defend into the hairpin. I think if he gets it out of this corner, he can start to pull away, and he has. This time, he's going to have the run through his strong part of the circuit ahead of David Haynes. Great racing, Howard.
Absolutely beautiful stuff there, Andrew. You've got to bear it in mind, folks. Yes, we're crunching the numbers up here in the box, and they'll know vaguely what the situation is, but Tom is rightly thinking of this one as, I'm fighting for a championship here. I've got to get by, and that was beautifully done. And you know what? He's had the pace this race, I think, to, if he can now get a bit of a gap going. Bear in mind, if he can get on up the road and overtake Newcastle B, he will have the win for this race.
Callum Brule corrects me. The A team did win 2018. This is where I got confused.
Okay.
It was the B team.
Last year that the B team.
The B team led into Clay Pigeon and were favourites for the title and blew it.
Good point.
Sorry, that was the bit that I was reminding myself of. Thank you, Callum. 8 minutes to go. Right, I'm going to go do some maths, mate.
Yeah, please do, because this one doesn't feel done to me. I know Brooks have had a strong round up until this race, but it is not a done deal yet.
So it's just Cambridge. You've got penalties, yeah?
Of these top runners, yeah.
Thank you.
Although Newcastle B is currently circulating with a contact warning. Just going to mention that. So that could get interesting. Just double checking any penalties. Whoa, hang on. Newcastle B have a penalty.
Right,
for a jump start. It was the first penalty issued in the entire race. So, Coventry A lead the race. They lead the race, and Brooks A effectively are second. Well, there we go. That surely, though, isn't enough. Coventry surely needs some drivers to come between them and Brooks. It's difficult to say what the jump start penalty will be.
Plus 2 positions.
It is, yes.
The full row.
It will be the full row, assuming that it's one row.
It was.
Oh, it was one row. Yes.
Now,
of course,
I think back to it. I saw it across the line.
Yeah, fair enough.
They were second on the grid.
So it's going to be 2 places for Newcastle B. Well, Cambridge A lead this one, but they are due a penalty. So, as good as Sam Gerrard is driving it, he's had a bump and pass penalty. He cannot win this race. Those of you who maybe watched this championship a number of years ago may be familiar with time penalties. We've not had that system for a number of seasons now in the BUKC. It is positions. It is positions. And do you know what? They really, Coventry here, they're going to fight with Newcastle B, and as far as we can tell, other than putting a kart between themselves and BUKC on the road, they definitely don't want to lose time battling this one. Tom Fox trying round the outside of Button. That one is going to lose him time. Surely not. He's going to go down top bend. No, but he is going to switch back and have a great run down the start-finish straight here on Adam Fleming in the number 39 Newcastle B car. They're going to be side by side going through the left-hander, but he's going to have the inside line into Billy's blind. Can he get the move done? Look at David Haynes swarming around in the background. Tom Fox doesn't want to lose out the position to Haynes, fighting with the 39 car. The 39 has a penalty to be applied as the 49 has spun round. That is who is in the 49? It's UWTSDB spinning from the mid-20s, but Tom Fox has got the job done now, so he's up into second on the road, but Cambridge A, who are some 6 seconds down the road, have a penalty to be applied. Dramatic stuff here at Clay Pigeon Raceway. It might not be.
With things as they are.
Go on, mate.
Oxford Brooks A. Ooh,
that's okay, it's not for points. That's okay.
413. Coventry A, 412. Exeter A, 406.
And Nottingham Trent C points eligible. Because they're on the scene.
Yes.
They're on the scene, and you could start to see the phenomenon now of some karts getting in between Coventry A and Brooks A. So Newcastle B have dropped back on this lap. Have we any idea how many karts separating would sway this one, mate? I know that's
give me a minute.
Yeah. Because now it's Scott Jeffs there in the Nottingham Trent C car on the tail of David Haynes.
The good news for them is that they've got a race win in their hands, so against most people they would take a tiebreaker in the round.
The 12 of UWTSD with Harry Farnhill at the wheel is closing in on this one as well. This one is getting tasty. The pressure is being applied here to David Haynes in that Brooks A kart. Who else is coming to the party? Loughborough BR. I feel it's Freddie Fincham at the wheel of that one.
This ain't over, mate. This isn't over. Especially, well, Nottingham Trent A are kind of out of this in terms of this race and improving their score. But their score is 174. At the moment, Brooks A are also scoring 170. They're scoring 175. Brooks have got to finish once all penalties have been handed out, third or higher in this race, I think. Which at the moment they are doing.
So you're saying if they drop down to fourth in terms of points?
Yes, if they've got to keep themselves ahead of 2 karts.
Okay, so here's the thing: if Harry Farnhill, who's just got up to fifth and set the fastest lap, and Scott Jeffs ahead of him can get past
my goodness.
Brooks A. We always stress, there's Tom Fox. He's in second on the road, but he will win this race if he doesn't pick up a penalty, because Cambridge A, who are miles down the road, well, 6 seconds down the road, have a bump and pass penalty to be applied.
The Brooks guys are to my left, looking at phones, frantically doing the maths.
Because if Scott Jeffs of Nottingham Trent C and Harry Farnhill of UWTSD A get by, that, by our very crude calculations here, would do it. You say it's third or higher, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, it's got to be third or higher in the round.
Yeah, it wasn't. Third or higher in the round?
Yeah.
Do we know how that translates to this?
Fifth.
Fifth in the race. Okay, look at this. Harry Farnhill down the inside of Scott Jeffs. Tidy move there. Tidy move there. Now Harry Farnhill, who's been setting some rude pace, will go and try and put the move on David Haynes. Surely he's got some time here, 2 minutes. So, who could ruin the party? Well, Harry Farnhill in the number 12 of UWTSD A has just got past the 103. So when they come around to finish this lap on your grid graph, on your position graphic on the left, the 103 and the 12 will swap round. They're both points eligible. They are both on the tail of David Haynes. Here it is, Harry Farnhill chasing David Haynes in that Brooks A kart. Scott Jeffs in the Nottingham Trent C kart is in the background. After that, Newcastle B, but they have a penalty to be applied, so if they get past David Haynes, it won't matter. And there is Harry Farnhill by the Brooks A kart. So UWTSD A go by Brooks A for a net second place there.
Right, that ties it up at the moment between BUKC and Trente within this round, round 8 on 174. At the moment, BUKC still have the tiebreaker though because they won a race and Trent have not won a race. But if they fall one more position, oh, now this is getting very interesting as Scott Jeffs pushes to the grass. That's very naughty.
And Newcastle B's through as well, but they do have a penalty hanging over them. But I think it's only Phil Craven in the background there for De Montfort A is gaining on this, as is Freddie Fincham of Loughborough B, but Loughborough B have a bump and pass penalty as well. Bear that one in mind. There are so many factors at play in this one. This is the penultimate lap. Look at the pressure that David Haynes is under. Again, Scott Jeffs tucks under him. They're going to crowd him out. Look at Phil Craven. He's on the scene there in his multicoloured race suit.
They're ganging up on him. If he loses more positions, they're going to lose the championship, I reckon, on the last lap. Everyone's ganging up on Brooks here. They're forcing them wide. Phil Craven's underneath. Freddie Fincham's underneath. Is it going to happen again? Are Brooks going to have a championship stolen from them? They've fallen all the way down to, what's that, 8th, 9th on the road. We're not going to be able to call this, but Coventry are still in this. They're on the last lap. Cambridge lead on the road, but have a penalty. Coventry would then receive the win in this race and in the round. They may have the hat-trick now of race round championship. We just don't know at this stage.
Harry Jones in the Newcastle A kart is past him, Andrew. That kart hasn't got any penalties on it. This is going to be super close, folks.
Cambridge A have come over to win the race on the line. Tom Fox, overstart finish. Is that for the championship? We just don't know. But what a drive from fantastic Mr. Fox. Trinity A finished 3rd. Trent C finished 4th, points eligible. Newcastle B 5th, points eligible, but with penalties. De Montfort A are 6th. Newcastle A are 7th. Brooks A are 8th. Oh,
Andrew,
I can't call this. This is too close. This is too close. And we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait to see, have Oxford Brooks won the title for a record-breaking time?
Mate, I don't think they've done enough. Cambridge A are going to have a 4-place penalty. That now puts them in front of Brooks A. So we've got to calculate points in eligibility and penalties. Coventry A will have the win for the race. UWTSDA would be classified 2nd, Nottingham Trent C in 3rd. Then it would be Cambridge A in 4th. Newcastle B finish 5th on the road but have a penalty, so De Montfort A would be scored 5th. Newcastle A would be scored 6th, and Newcastle B, if they had a 2-place penalty for starting jump starting, they would be 7th. I think Brooks A actually classified because of how the penalties in front of them. I think they cancel out. I think Brooks A finish 8th. Wow. Well, this one's going to be tight, folks. We just can't tell you. Let's hand down to Jacob.
Oh, shit. Okay, I don't know who won that.
I think we just had a problem. It was Tom Fox from Coventry who won the race.
Luke, I don't know who's won. Can you tell me who's won, if you can hear me? There's a penalty for number 14.
We really can't. I just don't know, folks.
We're going to have to wait for a formal result as well.
We really are.
Sod is definitely on fire now.
We finally got, we got the dramatic result, folks. Hopefully that'll do for a championship decider. That is really quite something. But I'm just doing the maths now. Well, I'm just doing a quick mental check. As I say, Coventry A will be classified winners. UWTSD A would be 2nd in that race. Trent C would be 3rd. Cambridge A would then be classified in 4th, having been docked their 4 positions.
Remember, penalties get applied from the back.
Oh, gosh.
So,
yes, they do.
You've got to do it the other way. We just don't know at this moment, folks. Jacob, if you can hear us, if you can grab Tom Fox.
We think he's your race winner.
Well, we know that's the one thing we do know. He is the race winner. We're still awaiting a formal result here in comms. I'm shaking. I genuinely am shaking. We've done this for many, many years. I thought Brooks had it comfortably. I even thought Brooks had it comfortably in the last 10 minutes of that race. You say things to kind of build up tension, but sometimes they don't happen. Wow. if Coventry have done this after the week they've had, we talked last year, I talked not 12 months ago or 18 months ago, the last time we had one of these finals, that they were a phoenix rising from the ashes in the spirit of the city of Coventry, rising from rank number 20. You're furiously refreshing the screen, aren't you, mate? You know, I spoke to one of their team members on Tuesday morning when they handed the trophy to me in a car park at work in Coventry, and it was one of the saddest things I've ever had in this sport. I've experienced. I didn't want to take the trophy.
Yeah,
they didn't want to hand the trophy
over. At the time, they didn't think they were going to be able to
race here. If they've won this title after the week and the 6 months that they've had, this is going to, in that manner as well, this is going to be the most remarkable championship and become the first team in 14 years to defend the title as well. Oh, let's go down to the grid. Jacob Harris has Coventry ace Tom Fox with him.
I have Tom Fox with me, who is the winner, confirmed, of that race. Tom, how about that?
That's pretty surprising to me. I didn't think I'd be winning that. To be honest, I thought I was in like 5th or 6th, so I was just driving around for the fun of it.
Well, there were a lot of penalties. The man who crossed the line first, Sam Gerrard, as he pulled up, I said, I think you won that one, Sam. He said, I don't think I did. You've been confirmed as the race winner, and potentially that means you may have won the title. How's it feel?
Not bad, so, hey? Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I'm looking forward to see what the results are, but either way, hats off to Oxford Brooks. They've done an amazing job all year. Special shout out to RSU. They fought really hard with us to get us here. So to be here anyway is so amazing. But yeah, good race. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, tell us a bit about the race.
I mean, I didn't really know what was going on. I was sort of just driving around. Anyone who was there, I was sort of just overtaking them, I guess. Yeah, not much to it. Didn't expect to be winning, but there you go.
Yeah, and I mean, a hell of a battle for the last day of the championship. It looks like you may have won. At least Andrew and Howard think you might have snuck it there at the end. Either way, we said to you before the race, if you had fun, you've won.
We had fun. I somehow won it. I pray we've won the championship, but second's also good. Yeah, I'm happy nonetheless.
And just a call back to the start of the year, has the transfer paid off?
Oh, of course it has. I mean, no hard feelings with Aston. They're a great place, great people, but I do like the team in blue.
Fair enough, then. Well, I'll let you get back and furiously refresh the results page for a look at who's won the championship. Obviously, the presentation will be afterwards. We may not need to have taken that trophy off you after all.
Well, that's it. Fingers crossed you don't have to. Hey, we done it.
And as you can tell by what's happened here, Coventry are BUKC champions of 2020. They have retained their title, beaten Oxford Brooks at the very, very last. We'll give them a chance to celebrate, but Tom Fox's win has secured this year's BUKC title. It's going back to Coventry once again, a 2-year stay in the city. Let's have a quick chat with one of the other boys. Sam's the other newcomer in the team. Sam, we'll go to you first. How's it feel?
Amazing. Honestly, I thought I'd ruined it for the boys on the first race of the day. So yeah, luckily Tom saved the day. I couldn't be happier.
And first year for yourself and the team, have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been amazing. The boys have been incredible. And yeah, incredible drivers. It's a pleasure driving with them.
Brilliant. And let's have a chat with Joe. Joe, 2-time BUKC champion.
Yeah, pretty good. 2 out of 2. But I think I've just cut my lip on Tom's helmet, so...
Well, it's always cutting something with you Coventry boys, isn't it? There's blood all over the place last year at Wilton Mill, and now you've cut yourself here.
Yeah, well, it's worth it if we win.
Are you back next year for more?
Don't know at the moment.
Get out of here. I'm talking to Ryan. Ryan, 2-time BUKC champion. How's it feel?
I don't know. I was overwhelmed. I really thought we'd lost it today, and then in 5 minutes it all changed. We're literally shaking. It's just such a surprise.
That's the drama of the BUKC. For you, absolutely anything can happen. But you're taking the trophy back to Coventry once again.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And then didn't know if I wanted to do it next year, and now kind of want to again.
Yeah, I didn't know if you're even going to do it today, do it next year. Now here you are. Well, sign me up for another year.
Questions, but no, I can't really explain it. This is just amazing.
You can't possibly pass up the chance of 3 in a row, can you?
No, I don't know how many people have done that. I'd love to know.
You'd have to check Wikipedia, mate. It's beyond my knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to try, so we'll see. But I know there's just such a great team. I'm so happy. I'm really happy.
I'm happy for you. Commiserations to the Brooks team, obviously, but a hard-fought battle all year.
It was a great battle between Loughborough, Brooks, Exeter, everyone. Like, we pushed us so hard, and as sad as we were earlier, I mean, they did so well. They did so well, and I do feel bad for them because they probably thought that they'd gotten so close, and it was so close last year as well. But it was just nail-biting right to the end again. Speechless, really.
Right, and thanks for being such a fantastic team. I'll let you get back to the celebrations. Unfortunately, that is the end of the BUKC Mains Championship in 2020. Tomorrow we've got the finale of the Intermediates Championship and, of course, the Drivers' Championship on Sunday. Unfortunately, we can't live stream those days this year. Alpha Live are just too busy, but big thank you to them for coming down to every round this year and bringing us uninterrupted live coverage of BUKC 2020. It has been a hell of a ride. Thank you to Andrew and Howard at Double Dash Motorsport Media for commentating, and the boys, of course, at Club 100 for putting on these fantastic fleet of karts for us all to go racing in. That's all we got time for. Time for a presentation and a bit of champagne, socially distanced, of course. And thank you for tuning in today, the hundreds of you that have, for the finale of BUKC 2020. We really have enjoyed presenting, bringing it to you, and hopefully we've livened up your 2020. Good night.